Live from Death Ray Studios in the sunny West Valley of Phoenix, it's Late Night with the Davey. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host, Davey Death Ray. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Death Ray here. How y'all doing on this lovely Wednesday night? Well, geez, it's still about 100 degrees out here in the Phoenix area, but it's getting nicer and nicer as the days go on and the fall season creeps into the desert. Yeah, guys, tonight it's going to be a little bit different. I'm not sure if everybody saw the post about an hour and a half ago or so. I got a message from our guest from tonight's show, Jared Bankins. He is, a working actor. He's currently on set and they're running a little bit late. So we're going to have to reschedule Jared. But no worries at all. I want to support working artists. Absolutely. So I totally understand that, working in show business and all that can be pretty fluid stuff. So, we'll figure out a good time that works for Jared's schedule and we'll get him on here. Even if we have to do like a late night with the Davey that's not on a Wednesday, maybe we'll do something fun like that. So yeah, and we'll be able to talk about the project that he's currently working on. He also is in a film that just dropped this past Friday called Off Ramp. It's about a couple of juggalos making their way to the gathering of the juggalos and all the antics that they get into on the way there. I watched it on Friday night. Friday night, rented it. It was just like $4 to rent it on YouTube. And I really enjoyed it. It has a couple twists and turns that I definitely didn't expect. There's like a little bit of a kind of an SLC punk sort of vibe as far as like this sort of, a movie that sort of peels back and lets you see a world that is a bit different and a bit off the beaten path. And then there's even some like kind of Mad Max Fury Road sort of vibes in a little bit of it as far as like maybe the darker side of the counterculture. But yeah, I had a really fun time with that one and can't wait to talk to Jared about that. Talk to him about his performance in the Twisted Metal TV series, which is how I came to know him as a performer. And just completely fell in love with what he did with his role there. And it actually made me realize, man, this guy would make an amazing Freddy Krueger. So I do have a video up on the channel. If you guys want to know why I think Jared would make a great Freddy Krueger, you're going to want to check that vid out. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for jumping in and joining me. Let's go ahead and say what's up to everyone in the chat here. We've got Raymond Malaber. How you doing, Raymond? Great to see you. We got Necro Mechanimal. Always a joy having you in the chat, Necro. And we got Gory Tiger. What's happening, Gory? Always great to see you as well. Tyler Adams. Late Night with the Davey. Oh, yeah. And then we got Prince, Mr. Happy Crowdoptimist. And he says, and then heart flame. And we have one of our great channel members, Trisha McMasters. How you doing, Trisha? Always a pleasure to see you in the chat as well. We got Jaime Hill in the chat. How you doing, Jaime? I think this is your first time in the chat, unless I am wrong. So everybody, please make Jaime feel welcome here in the chat. You're hanging with the Death Squad now, so it's about to get rowdy. We have another one of our great channel members, Big Rod, saying Terrifier 3, but low-key Nosferatu is close second. Also, Long Legs, I need to see. Yeah, Long Legs, I really enjoyed that one, Big Rod, so I do recommend you check out Long Legs for sure. And yeah, guys, we do have a poll going on here for what's your most, which upcoming 2024 horror film are you most excited for? We've got 14 votes with Nosferatu coming in at 57%, Terrifier 3 at 29%, and Smile 2 and Heretic sharing 7% there. So clearly, of course, we know the big ones, Nosferatu and Terrifier 3. And look at that. As I'm talking about the poll, the numbers are changing. I wouldn't be surprised if Terrifier 3, sorry, I can talk, I swear. I wouldn't be surprised if Terrifier 3 is sitting on top of the poll here come the end of the evening. And then we got Jamie Hart, one of our lovely Death Squad mods in the chat. How are you doing, Jamie? Great to see you. Jamie just celebrated a wedding anniversary recently, so everyone give her some love there in the chat for that. Happy anniversary, Jamie. I know I'm a couple days late to verbally say it, but you know, such an awesome thing to celebrate. Absolutely. And we got Backtrack Cinema in the chat. What's happening? Welcome, welcome. Nicholas McMath says, hey, Davey, how are you doing today, man? I just voted for Nosferatu. I'm doing all right. It was a bit of a late night last night, Nicholas. And then, of course, you know, kind of scrambling a little bit just to try to communicate to everyone what's going on with the show tonight and everything. That, yeah, you are going to get the Davey, the whole Davey, and nothing but the Davey tonight. Unfortunately, no guest this evening, but I've written down some talking points. We're going to have a great time, guys. You know, before things started moving a little heavier with the channel, I was going on lives a lot more, and it was just me doing solo lives at that point. So it'll be great to just kind of, you know, chat with you guys. So start thinking of your questions. You want to ask me about movies, or if there's an upcoming film that you want to talk about, or, you know, a lot of times we talk about music in here. So, you know, feel free to just load those up and start throwing those out here. Yeah, we're going to have a fun time hanging out tonight. Absolutely. Who else do we have in here? We've got, everyone's just saying what's up to each other. I love it. I love it. Just making sure I'm not missing anybody new that has jumped in. There we go. Jaime says, hello, everyone. I love horror. Recently, I started in, oh, you starred in Skinamarink as the mom. Is that true? That's amazing. Oh, my goodness. So we've got a bona fide horror actor in the chat. That is way too cool. Oh, my gosh. So I'm guessing you must have come along here looking for Jared Bankins, and I can't wait to have Jared on the show. It's going to be an absolute blast. But thank you so much for hanging out with us. That's pretty wild there. Really, really cool. Hell yeah. Let's see here. We've got Erica in the chat. What's happening, Erica? One of the great mods over at Killjoy Jake's channel. Always great to see you popping in here, Erica. You guys are great. The folks that have come over from Killjoy Jake after his appearance, and with Cody Leach as well, people jumping in. It's been really, really cool. You know, seeing people from that I kind of get to know a little bit from chats on other people's channels, making their way on over here. Yeah, hell yeah. And we got Robert the Wolfman. Ow, ow. What's happening, Robert? Great to see you in the chat. Always a pleasure. Robert, man, we should talk a little Wolfman tonight. Absolutely. I know you and I were kind of chit-chatting about it just through the Instagram DMs, getting our Wolfman talk on. And that's actually one of the things that I wrote down here, because it's something we haven't really talked about on the channel. I've heard other channels talk about it. You know, I don't do like a regular news kind of segment or news, movie news live or anything like that here on the channel. But guys, if that's something that you want to see, if that's something you're interested in, let me know, because that's one of the things I want to talk about tonight is what do you want to see more of on the channel? And specifically, what do you want to see for this upcoming spooky season? Now, of course, we're going to be rolling with Late Night with the Davey. Absolutely. We're going to keep up on our Tales from the Crypt episode reviews. I've got an interview with Ron Sloan from Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning, that's dropping this Friday the 13th, bright and early in the morning for everyone. And then also I'm going to be starting something called Davey Science Theater 3000, where we're going to watch public domain horror movies throughout the month of October. We'll do one a week. And the great thing about that is we can show the full movie on the screen. Just put me in the corner somewhere. So you don't even have to follow a link anywhere else to watch the film. You can just hang out with us and watch the film, and we can kind of, you know, we can enjoy it, of course. We can make little jokes, all that kind of fun stuff. And we're going to be kicking that off with Night of the Living Dead. So keep an eye out for that coming up this October. But yeah, guys, let me know in general, what do you want to see more of on the channel? And what do you want to see specifically this spooky season on the channel? All right, so let's see here. We got Trisha saying what's up to Jaime. And hopefully, I mean, it could be Jamie, and I'm just saying Jaime because I took Spanish in high school. So whenever I see the name Jamie spelled like that, I just want to say Jaime. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. Let's see here. So yeah, let me yeah. So I'm looking up Jaime here, or Jamie here. Yeah, Skinamarink, Give and Take, Grotesque 2, I'm Haunted 2. That's pretty awesome. This is amazing. So, guys, this is a pretty momentous occasion here to, have a working actor jump into the chat here during a late night with the Davey. That's incredible. Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. Yeah, Jamie, of course, absolutely. Yeah, we got to celebrate those milestones and all of that. We're here as a community to lift each other up and be there for each other. And I feel like, celebrating those milestones with you, if as long as it's something that you're out there sharing in socials and stuff like that, like, why not, shine a little light on it and celebrate with you. Let's see here. Did I miss Robert says, "What up, Happy? Did I miss is Happy Sanjo in here?" And I totally scrolled past Happy Sanjo saying, "What's up?" I must have totally missed it, and I don't even see it on here. Oh, you're talking about Happy this Happy. All right, there we go. I am a giddy goat. Nicholas McMath says there's 16 likes. That's amazing, but we have 25 people in the chat. So if you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and smash away. And of course, if you're watching after the fact, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you want to see more of on the channel. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the topics we're about to cover. I can't see into the future, so I don't know what those topics are. But please don't hesitate to let your voice be heard in the comments below as well. And you know what? If you know somebody that would dig this kind of content, somebody that is just maybe looking for one more horror tilted channel to watch on YouTube, send them our way. We are dangerously close to 1,000 subscribers. As of right now, we're sitting at 978, guys. So if everyone in the chat right now shares with somebody that comes on over and subscribes, we will pass the 1,000 mark tonight. Now, I don't expect that to happen. It would be really, really cool. But hopefully, that can happen here sometime in the very, very near future. Absolutely. Of course, you got it. You got it. There it is. And hopefully I'm saying your name right. Jaime, Jamie. I don't know. Let me know. Give me the phonetic like dictionary spelling in the chat, and that way I can be not so self-conscious every time I say your name. We got Mark from Tales from the Shelf chiming in. How you doing, Mark? Great to see you. Mark had reached out and was like, "Hey man, if you still need somebody on the stream, just go ahead and let me know. I can hop in." And I was like, "Mark, that's so sweet of you," because I did put a little bit of an SOS out there on my Instagram, and then I was just sort of like, you know what? Let's just go it alone. Let's just hang out with everyone, have a chill, kind of different version of Late Night with the Davey. Kate was like, "Are you still going to go live?" And I'm like, "Well, absolutely. I mean, the show has to go on, right?" We've been doing it here this is our 18th week in a row. Haven't missed one yet. And I want to keep that streak going. Because yeah, it'll just be cool to hit those little milestones, hit that 20th episode, that 25th, all that fun stuff will be, really, really awesome. So especially as we get closer to that 1,000 mark as well. And yes, as Big Rod says, Robert is the mean man, not just the wolf man. Raymond says, "I saw Airheads last week. It was so funny. I loved it." Yeah, man. Airheads from 1994 is an absolute classic. Don't sleep on that movie. It's a hell of a lot of fun. I have a really good time watching Airheads, especially, just how many people are in that movie where you're like, "I know that guy. I know that girl. I know him. I know her." It's just bouncing around, like so many awesome performers in the mix in that movie. It's really, really cool. And a pre-director, Rob Zombie, making an appearance there as well, which is really, really awesome. Also, yeah, Trisha's like, "I'm excited to see where tonight goes." Me too, Trisha. I have no idea where this is gonna go. I don't expect it's gonna be a 3-hour show like my shows can sometimes be. Or, man, last week just the interview part was 3 hours. Sometimes when you vibe, right? I mean, Mark from Tales from the Shelf knows that better than anyone, because we talked for like 2.5 hours. We had never talked before, and then jumped in just like best friends, talking all things horror. What's happening, Kyle Curtis? Great to see you, my guy from Flet's Movies and Pop Culture. If you're not subbed over there, go give him, some love. Check out some of his videos. Kyle Curtis is going live all the time. He has gotten some really awesome people to interview over there, and he does those interviews live, which is really, really cool to be able to jump into the chat and ask those celebrities questions. He had Damian Rugna on there, who wrote and directed When Evil Lurks, which is, one of the best movies I saw in 2023. Absolutely. I adore that movie. So go give Flet some love over there. And we got Toronto Freddy in the house. What's happening, Toronto Freddy? He says you'll definitely hit 1K before October, homie. I sure hope so, man. I would like to hit 1K before the weekend. If I can be greedy about it, I would like to hit 1K before the weekend, but we'll see. We'll see. Big Rod says I'm so bummed from what I've seen of the new Wolfman. But what have they really shown anything other than the teaser, Big Rod? I just think that they're sort of like, I think the teaser is a true teaser, and we'll totally get into that. We'll say hi to everybody here, and we can get into some topics. Or I guess we can tackle it now, whatever you guys want to do. Nicholas says, I watched Annie Hall a couple days ago for the first time, Davey. You know what, Nicholas? I've never seen Annie Hall. That's a big blind spot for me, for sure. Yeah, kind of crazy. I know. There's a lot of Woody Allen movies that I need to catch up on. Absolutely. Tyler says, glad to be here. Came back from LA after a 3-day film shoot, still recovering from those long hours. But I caught Beetlejuice with the wife and kids yesterday. Hell yeah, Tyler. What did you think of Beetlejuice? I guess that's something that we can talk about. That's something we should talk about right now, for sure. Yeah, because Kate and I saw Beetlejuice last weekend. We caught a matinee. And, Kate really enjoyed it. The original Beetlejuice is one of her favorite films of all time. And honestly, I was pretty lukewarm to somewhat disappointed in Beetlejuice. Now, I'm not expecting it to like break the mold or anything. But when you take out, a couple elements, even if you remove the two villains from the movie, it doesn't really change the story very much. I felt like Michael Keaton's performance was amazing. I really loved Willem Dafoe's performance as well. I feel like that guy brings it every time. But again, another character that doesn't really affect the way the plot goes at all, but a really good performance. And Justin Theroux, even though I didn't love the character too much, I think, he is a performer. I think he really gave it, his all and took that kind of over the top fun sort of Beetlejuice vibe. Like, I felt like he, stuck to that really, really well. But pretty much everyone else I felt were sort of phoned in. Even Catherine O'Hara, who I absolutely adore as a performer. And I don't know if it's just the script or if people are just showing up for a paycheck or something, but the movie just, there's that X factor. There's that, like, does it work for you? Does it feel natural? Does it feel forced? And I think that for me, Beetlejuice felt a little forced, and it felt like they didn't really have much meat on the bone, but that they wanted to make this movie. And essentially, it's a remake and not really a sequel. It's really interesting. To me, it sort of just made me appreciate even more legacy sequels like Halloween 2018, which has its moments that don't work for me and has like cringy elements, of course, stuff like that. No movie is perfect. Absolutely. But it really made me appreciate, like, well, in Halloween 2018, it feels like a real sequel to the original film. It doesn't feel like inconsequential. Whereas I think with Beetlejuice, it's just a bunch of fluff. And, a fun movie, it's fine. But I think sometimes, like, when you're expecting to be entertained, especially, off the heels of a great movie like the original Beetlejuice, I was a little disappointed with that one, for sure. And again, there's some good performances there. It's not throw out the baby with the bathwater kind of thing. I just thought it could have been a lot better. Sorry, Big Rod. I didn't see that until I went on my whole diatribe. But I don't think I really spoiled anything, like trying not to spoil things as far as giving any specifics away. But it just felt kind of samey. And Erica is looking forward to the watch party tomorrow night. We are doing a simulcast watch party. It's going to be on my channel over here. It'll also be on Sledgehammer Horror. Ken and Ashley are hosting a Terrifier 2 watch party with myself and Evan from Rockland Graves Productions, who is actually our guest on the show next week. So next Wednesday, Evan will be on the show, and it'll be really cool to hang out with him in the watch party and sort of get to know him a little bit in that context as well. I'm not sure if it's simulcasting on his channel as well. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. So yeah, if you guys want to hop on over, whether it's Sledgehammer Horror or over here on this channel to watch Terrifier 2 with us, I'm going to be renting it, I think, off Amazon Prime. But if you have a physical copy, you could always pop it in. It's only going to be my second time watching the movie, so I'm really excited to see just how it works for me a second time around. I really enjoyed it the first time around, and maybe I'll like it even more on the second go. Yeah. Yeah, man, I've been hearing that California's been having the hot weather. Absolutely. We got Ty Lee in the chat. What's happening, Ty? I think I saw you over on Killjoy Jake's channel just yesterday. So thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Everybody make Ty feel welcome here with the Death Squad folks here on the Davey Death Ray channel. And Ty, if you haven't subbed yet, and maybe you have, but if you haven't yet, think about hitting that button. We are racing towards 1K. So yeah. And just an update on the poll. We have 26 votes on the poll. Nosferatu's at 50%, Terrifier 3 at 38, Smile 2 at 8, and Heretic just at 4%. All right. Nobody looking forward to the Hugh Grant horror movie. Is that an A24 movie? If it's not, it looks a lot like an A24 movie. 31 Days of Halloween movies. You'd like to see something like that, Ty? Okay. So you want to do, man, 31 Days of Halloween movies. Okay. Yeah, we can do something like that, like a little mini review every day. That would be wild. We could do, man, especially if I'm just talking about movies I've already seen. If I don't have to watch a new movie to do a review, we could do something kind of crazy like that. Prince, man, I'm on Letterboxd. I'm just not very active on there, unfortunately. What's happening, Dead End Cinema? Welcome to the chat, my guy. Love the little icon there with the 3D glasses. Really cool shit. What's happening, Adrian? Great to see ya. Let me catch up here a little bit in the chat. Let's see. What do we got? What are we talking about here? Days of Sodom. We talking about that Crow fan film? I must have missed a chat earlier on that one, but I think that looks really good, actually. Necro says, I want spoiler talk. I don't like talking about movies I haven't seen or not being able to really talk about things, avoiding spoilers. Maybe pick a few films and announce it earlier so people can watch before. Okay, so like a live stream where we do like full-on spoilers for more recently released movies. Okay, yeah, we could do something like that. Absolutely. Let's see here. The grind is real. Hopefully the end result is worth it, Tyler. Yeah, man, when you're working those long hours, I mean, I think that's what it's all about is whether you're, recording music or making a film, it's hearing it and feeling it all come together and everything. And you know what? I missed something here. Erica gifted 5 Davey Death Ray memberships. Thank you so much, Erica. That is awesome. Let's see who got these memberships. Let's see what we got here. So Raymond Malaber was gifted a membership. Ty Lee, My Chunky Jordy, Ashton Luck, and Mud Nelson all gifted memberships. That's really awesome, Erica. Thank you so much for doing that. That's super sweet. Man, most of the memberships we have are from people gifting. So it's really cool that you guys do that. Absolutely. Love seeing that. Yeah, Nicholas, we are so close I can taste it. We got T. Parker Evans in the chat. What's happening? Says, happy last day of seeing the Speak No Evil trailer day. We're finally free. I'm actually excited to see it tomorrow. Yeah, I've been hearing little rumblings about that, but I haven't really dove into like a review or anything. What I do think is funny is if you look at the poster for Speak No Evil, doesn't James McAvoy look just like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in that poster? And it's kind of bizarre because McAvoy plays Professor X, but then you like get him all buffed out. I can't remember who it was that said his traps look like Richard Brooker from Friday the 13th Part 3. He looks a lot like Wolverine, so that would be wild. Like, what if the Marvel Universe does some weird like multiverse kind of thing where there's like where you reuse an actor that played Professor X and then you bring him in as Wolverine. That would just be wild. Just absolutely crazy. What's happening? Dark Room reviews just came from Frank's stream. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, Frank is awesome. I did appeared on Frank's most recent video. He did a video called Let's Celebrate Spooky Season with special guests. And there's about 10 different content creators on there, all talking about, their memories of Halloween and what makes them love the Halloween season so much. And also, talking about a movie that really brings that fall kind of vibe to them. So go ahead and check that out over on Frank's Media and Reviews. It's a really cool video. It's about 40 some minutes long, but every few minutes you're jumping over to another content creator, telling you why they love Halloween and what movie puts them in the mood. So Tyler says, thanks, Big Rod. There's some killer CG work I get to do on this one. The cast was great. The crew was great. Director is my favorite collaborator. Tyler, I can't wait to hear more, man. And feel free to reach out to me if you'd like to, bring on some of the folks on the show here. So, when your project is ready to drop, we can, push it here on the channel and, give you guys just a little bit of a platform to talk about what you've been working on. Absolutely. Let's see here. Big Rod says, I'd have to check dates, but I'm pretty sure that was Rob Zombie when he was still in White Zombie. And painting MTV sets for like Headbangers Ball. Yeah, White Zombie is in Airheads for sure. Yeah, so they go to a club. I think it's the Whiskey A Go Go is where the band is playing. There's a couple different scenes there with White Zombie in it. Absolutely, Kyle Curtis. Of course, man. We got to support each other, and you hit a milestone, about a month or a month and a half ago or so when I was on the channel. Kyle Curtis hit 500 subs like while we wwere, on a live, which was really, really cool. And just marching towards that next milestone, man. That's really, really cool. Let's see here. Dark Room Review says, I love Tubi because it has movies I've never seen. I saw Platoon and Rain Man for the first time. Man, Rain Man is such a good movie. Really, really great Best Picture winner. I haven't seen Platoon in a really long time. That one's really heavy. Absolutely. I mean, Oliver Stone, it's about as heavy as you can get for sure. Let's see here. Want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. We got Hayden in the chat. What's happening, man? Great to see you. I saw Hayden over on, I believe it was Splattercast just the other day with Evan from Rockland Graves Productions. Evan's getting a lot of play here on Late Night with the Davey, and he's not even a guest until next week. What's happening, Hayden? Great to see you, my guy. Looking forward to putting together a video with you, man. We've been talking on the side about putting a little something together. Collaborations just out the yin yang over here at the Davey Death Ray channel, and it's really awesome because there's no shortage of ideas. I have a whole bunch of ideas written down, and then people like Hayden, message me and they've got ideas as well. So always, jumping around, kind of doing something new and meeting new people and just growing that network and growing the community as well. Yeah, and absolutely Dark Room Reviews. Very nice of Erica to gift those memberships for sure, as Big Rod echoes here also. Yeah, T. Parker says there are a lot of subplots in Beetlejuice, but I had a lot of fun watching it and my audience were amazing. Yeah, it was definitely a fun experience for sure. It is, I just think that, there were certain things. People say use the term overstuffed. I think that's pretty fair, absolutely. And it's so sweet of you to do so, Erica. It's really, really cool. So we appreciate that a whole hell of a lot here. Raymond says, I've got a big next few days catching up on movies, Davey. Well, best of luck to you, Raymond. And I love hearing about the movies that you're watching. Especially sometimes you drop in some movies like Fletch, a movie that I'm really passionate about and that I really love a lot. So I'm always interested in knowing like what you guys are watching and all that good stuff. So yeah, keep them coming and yeah, let me know what you've got up next on the slate. What's happening, Aaron? Great to see you in the chat, my guy. This is a lone Davey Late Night with the Davey hang. So appreciate you coming by and hanging with us. Dark Room Review says, what bugged me the most was the material Keaton had to work with. The singing was not for me. I actually really liked that scene, especially the one towards the end of the movie. I really enjoyed it, but maybe I'm an outlier on that one because the whole, I'm just, like I said, sort of lukewarm on the movie. But yeah, at an hour 44, I feel like it should have been longer to so the subplots had somewhere to go, or just remove them, and just have it be a nice tight movie where that just, moves on a different trajectory. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a rehash, unfortunately. And Erica will be there for the Terrifier 2 watch party. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. That'll be a wild good time. And before I forget, I should mention another thing coming up this weekend. So yeah, doing the Terrifier 2 watch party tomorrow with Ashley and Ken from Sledgehammer Horror and Evan from Rockland Graves Productions. And then on Friday morning, my interview with Ron Sloan from Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning drops. That's not a live interview, but it's the very first interview in a new series that's an offshoot of Late Night with the Davey called Late Night with the Davey Before Dark. And so it's got a little bit of a different aesthetic with the background and everything. And those are going to be pre-recorded interviews because not everyone can make the 10 p.m. Eastern on a Wednesday night time slot, but I still want to be able to bring these folks on the show and interview them. So there'll be that Before Dark series for the pre-recorded interviews, and then we'll keep everything going with the live show here every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, it was really great chatting with Ron about, 13 Fanboy, Dylan's New Nightmare, of course, A New Beginning, and just, what his like acting story was, how he kind of got into the business and what his experience was like, getting hired for Friday 5. And really, just awesome to hang out with him. And then on Saturday morning, I'm doing a live collaboration with Shay Rants, who is an up-and-coming YouTuber from the UK. And I'm really excited about that. Shay reached out to me and wanted to put something together. And so I was like, why the heck not? And we came up with the idea of doing a top 5 best and worst horror remakes. So we'll each have a top 5 best and a top 5 worst, and just kind of have that discussion. That's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 14th. So it'll be 11 a.m. Pacific time, and I believe 7 p.m. if you're out in the UK, if you're across the pond. So just wanted to mention what's coming up on the channel here before I forget. Yeah, Raymond, it's okay. I would say, yeah, you can wait for Beetlejuice for sure. Waiting for streaming is not a big deal at all. Absolutely, Big Rod. I think that's how you found your way over here. So, all thanks to Ken and Ashley and all the other great content creators that have, spread the love either by bringing me on the channel or accepting my invitation for them to come over here to the Davey Death Ray channel, because that's how this community grows, man. It's really cool. Nicholas says, I forgot you're doing a watch party. Yeah, don't forget. Hit that notification bell and you won't forget, because your little phone is going to remind you. It's going to be like, hey, you got to watch Terrifier 2 with Davey Death Ray. Get on it. Yeah, me too. I love them so much. They're great at what they do. They churn out the content so consistently. It's wild. Yeah, it's wild. How you doing, Antonis? Great to see you, my guy. Erica says, I've seen Terrifier 1 and 2 more times than I can count. Which one do you like more, Erica? Are you more of a fan of the second film? I'm interested. I'm interested to know. Beetlejuice definitely didn't feel like a remake. Yeah, I don't know though, because the more I started thinking about it, Toronto Freddy, if you take out like a couple characters that don't really have an effect on the plot, to me it feels very, very much like a remake, unfortunately. Yeah. Big Rod's trying to get the Fascinators to stick. I like that. I like the Fascinators. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Antonis says, darn, I really thought Terrifier 3 was going to win. Well, Antonis, the night is still young, right? I mean, right now we have 27 people on the stream, which is absolutely incredible. You guys are awesome for hanging out. So let me just kind of pause everything to say thank you so much for kicking it with me, especially, with kind of having to improvise a little bit and doing a solo show this time around. We usually have a guest on once a week, someone in the creative world. And, it didn't work out this time. But Jared and I have been in touch. Of course, I support, him as a working actor and that he's got a job to do. And I respect the hell out of that. And we're already just talking about, when we can find another time for him to be on the show. So it'll all work out in the end. And I'm really excited to have him join us here at some point. But yeah, you guys are amazing for hanging out. And Antonis, let's take a look at the poll and see Man, it's really close now. See, it's 43% and 43% for Nosferatu and Terrifier 3. So we have 30 votes, and people might dip in and out here, Antonis, and they might drop in a vote before they take off. So I think it's going to be neck and neck. I would not be surprised if Terrifier 3 is at the top of the pile once the night is done. So yeah, let's see. Tyler had a great time with Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, great atmosphere, funny, whimsical, seamlessly expanded the world. Worked for me. Not perfect, but that's okay. Yeah, I think that everything you're saying there is true. Like it was funny, it was whimsical, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and it did expand the world in certain ways. I guess maybe I wanted to see a little more zaniness from Beetlejuice himself, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the movie. I would probably give it like a C plus, and I think that's not. I don't think that's being too unfair or anything. I certainly don't think it was a bad movie at all. Nothing really grabbed Aaron with the Heretic trailer. Yeah, it seems like a movie that could be really interesting, but maybe they don't want to give you the big. Well, I guess the hook in the trailer is that you're supposed to think that maybe he is some innocent guy, but then he basically makes them, gives them a crisis of faith kind of decision to make. Like, hey, if you really believe in your God, then why don't you do something? Why don't you risk your life if you feel like you're just going to go to heaven? That's the kind of vibe I get from the Heretic trailer. I'm interested to see it, but I don't think I'm interested enough to go to the theater to see it or anything like that. Raymond says, I watched your appearance on Jake's channel earlier. I also watched his video on a hidden VHS movie. Yeah, that hidden VHS, it's really interesting that the one where they collaborated with like Snapchat. So it's this whole like VHS by phone kind of thing, pretty much, that's kind of wild. Yeah, I love Jake's content, man. His energy, he's got such high energy. The way he's able to keep up with the folks in the chat, like, he'll be sitting there with 100 people watching him live and the chat's just flying by. He does a great job keeping up with everyone, and a really good job covering the horror news and all that kind of stuff. And he's got a great voice too. So I really love what Jake does over there. I was very, humbled and flattered, to be asked to appear on his channel because he's built something really, really great over there. I think he's at about like 26,000 subs. And so, when you're just sitting where I'm at, where you're just under 1,000 subs, like when somebody of that, level, somebody that's, doing that as a means of, it's basically, that's how he makes his living is YouTube, right? It's just really, really humbling and awesome to get that invite from that person, especially, somebody that I look up to as a content creator. Absolutely. Let's see here. Just because it's out doesn't mean you'll stop seeing the trailer. Oh, with Speak No Evil. Trisha asks, how do you gift memberships? I'm not good with technology. So Erica, what you do is you hit the little money button. So you hit the money button and there's a little, there's super stickers, super chat, membership, where you could purchase one for yourself. And then there's membership gifting, and you can gift, I think it's 1 membership or 5 memberships at a time. So that's how you can do that. So yeah, it's a really fun thing to see the community grow. And then I get to hop in and update the little card. So we make sure that our members get that love at the beginning of every single video. It's great. Big Rod says, I want to see Speak No Evil and Strange Darling at some point. I've heard really good things about Strange Darling. And I don't know, I haven't watched the original Speak No Evil, so maybe I need to see that one first. But it definitely looks interesting from everything, I've heard for sure. Let's see here. See what we got. There we go. Jamie's throwing down the knowledge there. Big Rod says, I played the whiskey. Shout out to Hollywood. That's pretty awesome, man. I've never was fortunate enough to have one of my bands play at the Whiskey A Go Go, but I've certainly walked past the bar. I went to, what was the one in West Hollywood? The Troubadour. I've seen a show at the Troubadour. I saw Against Me play there. Mike Park from Asian Man Records and the Bruce Lee band opened up for Against Me. That was really wild. Met Matt Pinfield at that show, who used to host 120 Minutes on MTV. He was like the only guy who I really paid attention to or listened to on MTV when I was a kid. And then at the end of the night, I'm sitting there drinking tequila shots with Matt Skiba from Alkaline Trio and Andrew, who was the bass player in Against Me at the time. So it was just a wild night. Hanging out in Hollywood, you just never know what the hell is going to happen. It's pretty crazy. Dark Room Review says Apocalypse Now is 3 hours. Oof, I want to tackle it. I don't think it feels like that though. Dark Room. And you know what? With a long movie, just break it up, watch an hour at a time. There's no rule that says you have to sit there like you're in the theater, right? Nicholas says, Davey, I'm just curious, what's your opinion about Steven Seagal, his movies or him as a person? Well, let me grab a drink of water before I answer that question, Nicholas. So, I don't know if I've ever seen a Steven Seagal movie, honestly. I've seen maybe bits on TV or something like that. I know I've said it before here on the channel. I'm not the biggest action movie guy. It doesn't mean that I don't like them, but I don't seek out action movies. As far as him as a person, I mean, I don't know. I know that he was a guest on SNL and he kind of went down in infamy as the rudest, worst guest that they ever had. So, I can't really speak to it too much, but maybe I should watch one of his movies. Maybe I should check out Under Siege. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. I love Trisha. I don't see it. I'm hopeless. Yeah, just the little dollar sign down there, Trisha. You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. Raymond says, I rewatched Stir of Echoes earlier, Prince. No more movies tonight. Stir of Echoes is awesome. I love that movie. I like that movie more than The Sixth Sense. I think it's a better movie. And a lot of people said it was sort of a ripoff of The Sixth Sense, but actually it's based on a book that came out in like the 50s. So even though the movies were sort of like right next to each other, the story for Stir of Echoes, and I've read the book as well. So it's not like they just took the title and made a totally different movie. The story for Stir of Echoes has existed for a while. I think that was Richard Matheson that wrote that one. And, he wrote I Am Legend. He also wrote a bunch of the original Twilight Zone episodes. Matheson was a total badass for sure. Big Rod says, I'm a nerd, though. My favorite part of Hollywood was the Mesa Boogie shop. Yeah, Mesa Boogie's a great, great quality item. It's a good quality item. Yeah, Trisha knows what's up. Antonis, Jared Bankins, our guest tonight, he's on set right now, working on a project, and they just went and do a little bit of overtime. So we're going to have to reschedule, but you guys are getting all the Davey you can handle. What's happening, Gavin? We got Mud Nelson in the chat, newly appointed channel member, thanks to Erica's very, very gracious gift earlier on tonight. Necro says, I love going on Flet's live streams and watching him see my chats and bail on even trying to pronounce my name. That's why I just call you Necro. Yeah, I mean, it's just easier, right? Darkroom Review says, I saw Stir of Echoes in the theater back in the day. Ooh, I wonder if Jamie Hart saw that one in the theater as well. Yeah, let's check on the poll here. Boom, Terrifier 3 has taken over 49%. Nosferatu 40%, Smile 2 9%, Heretic just 3%. Maybe I should have put something else in there instead of Heretic, right? Didn't get to smoke a blunt with Be Real and chopping it up with Dino from Fear Factory. Feel free to skip all my tangent chats, Davey. Okay, I'll skip all the chats from here on out, Big Rod. Don't worry. I love everyone coaching Trisha on this. It's so great. Like, We'll get it. We'll make it work, Trisha. Will somebody go over to Trisha's house and help her out with this? Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. Gavin, welcome to the show. 31 people hanging out here for a solo late night with the Davey. That is wild, guys. It's really, really cool that you're all kicking it with me here. Raymond's going to be watching Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes tomorrow, then Furiosa on Friday, then First Omen and In a Violent Nature on Saturday. I really want to see the First Omen still. I heard so many good things about it. I think it's on Hulu, and I don't have any excuse for not having seen it at this point. Trisha says, yeah, I see that, and it gives me the option of Super Chat and Super Sticker, but only purchase after that. Huh. Interesting. I don't know why. I wonder if it's a limitation. Are you on your phone, Trisha, or are you on the computer? I'm curious to know. T. Parker says, I find it ironic that Blumhouse's Speak No Evil turned out to be their best film of the year, since it's a remake of a 2-year-old film and the trailer showed everything. It has an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing it's because McAvoy is just that big of a powerhouse of an actor. I mean, the guy is so impressive, just absolutely impressive. Yeah, I mean, he is magnetic. Anytime I see him in anything, he sucks me right in. Tractor beam sucked me right in. Ty says, I've been excited about the watch party all week, always looking for an excuse to watch Terrifier 2. Hell yeah, man. It'll be a great time. I know, Evan from Rockland Graves is a really big Terrifier fan. And I think with Ashley and Ken, it's going to be their second time watching the movie as well. So it'll be really cool, watching with us, Ashley, Ken, and myself, just seeing it for the second time. And then somebody like Evan who is a bit more steeped in that whole world of Terrifier. I'm really looking forward to it. Maybe, him shedding some light on some things that maybe I missed that first time around. So really looking forward to it. The movie has an amazing soundtrack and score. Like the Paul Wiley score is really good for Terrifier. And then the soundtrack with like the Midnight on there is really cool. My guy Dream Kid is going to be he has a song called Chrissy that's going to be in Terrifier 3. If you guys don't listen to Dream Kid, I highly recommend checking out his tunes, especially if you're into that like 80s revival synthwave. He calls what he does blink wave, and I totally get it because, some of the songs are just instrumental synthwavies, and then other songs are a bit more like poppy, and the melodies sort of remind me of Blink 182. So I kind of like that moniker that he's come up with for his genre of music. 27 likes. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Erica says she likes the gritty look of the first Terrifier and the main kill, but also likes the storyline of Terrifier 2 and, of course, the main kill. They're both great in their own way. Yeah, I don't know if I will ever revisit the first Terrifier film, but I do really like the second one. It got me pumped for the third one, for sure. We talked about that a little bit, Gavin. Yeah, I saw your 1-star review. I'm not that harsh on it, but I definitely wasn't excited by it by any means. Very, very lukewarm. Yeah. Dark Room says, I'm watching Final Destination. Perfect for spooky month. Yeah, that's a really fun movie. I like that first one. A little Devon Sawa action. And then what's his face? What's the guy's name that was in the My Bloody Valentine remake? Kerr Smith. He's in there as well. Yeah. Possible that the phone doesn't have the same options. Yeah, for Trisha's gifting. That's okay. The next time you're at a computer, Trisha, you can gift some memberships, right? What's happening, Eli Cortez? Our guy, Eli. What a great channel member here. An amazing subscriber here at the Davey Death Ray channel, an awesome member of our community as well. Eli sent me a few packages, a whole shitload of movies, and even sent me over a collector's edition of the latest John Carpenter record as well. So Eli is the friggin' man. Welcome to the chat, Eli. So pumped that you are here hanging out with us. And really looking forward to kicking it for the rest of the night. We're going to be up all night, everyone. And we got Jamie Hart has been a member for a month. That's so awesome, Jamie. Thank you so much for sticking around, our Death Squad mod, Jamie Hart. Hell yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Jake cracks me up as well, Jamie. Absolutely. Yeah. Little Killjoy Jake action, of course. Did he pop into the chat and I missed him? I don't think so. I wrote the bill. Little ASMR there for you guys. Let's see here. What else we got? We got Chud's Corner. What's happening, Chad? Great to see you popping in here. Eli just got his Late Night with the Devil Steelbook. It's so gorgeous. Have you gotten your box set yet, Eli? I have not seen mine come in the mail yet. So just curious to know if you've gotten a notice about anything like that. Big Rod says the chat is lit tonight. I'm going to miss these days when Davey blows up inevitably. Like when I actually just explode and then there's no more shows and you guys can't come and chat with each other and stuff on my streams. Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate the kind words, Big Rod. Like it would be, it would be a dream come true if the channel, reaches that height. Of course, it would be amazing. But you know what? I'm never going to forget you guys, especially, the first that first 100 subs, the first 500, and of course everybody within that first 1,000. Like, you guys are always going to be so special to me for really like giving the channel momentum and helping build the foundation of everything that we're going to create here moving forward. So, I want to keep all of you guys happy and keep you guys around, and of course keep everything growing, because it would be unreal to get to the point where this can supplement my income, or where this could actually be my job. And I'm not banking on that. And I'm not, this is one of those things where it's a long haul kind of thing, and it is a grind, and it's very rewarding, but it's a lot of hard work too, but also a shitload of fun. Like, I love hanging out with you guys. I love you guys. You're amazing, and you guys fuel everything we do here at the channel. And what you guys do for my mental health has been incredible, and it just keeps on getting better and better. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I don't literally blow up. Hopefully the channel blows up. Yeah, was that a Walmart exclusive, Eli? I'm curious. Prince, I have not seen Blink Twice. I don't know if I'm that interested. Channing Tatum as a performer doesn't really do much for me. I do, I like his performance in The Hateful Eight, but I'm pretty sure that Tarantino could get a good performance out of anyone. I don't know if I really buy him as an actor. Like, very pretty and a great body, of course, but I know a lot of actors and actresses that they're just not, in my opinion, they're not good at performing. They may be, attractive physically, but I'm kind of there for the performances. Yeah. It is not the Walmart exclusive. Yeah, Alkaline Trio, man, especially their first couple records. Like, I'm really into God Damn It. Maybe I'll Catch Fire. And then the self-titled, like the compilation, it's got like a couple of their EPs on there. I really like that. They started to lose me on From Here to Infirmary. I just think the record sounds kind of flat, and then they become sort of like a parody of themselves at some point, where it's like, oh, here's the spooky song from Alkaline Trio. Whereas on the first couple records, the songs, like, yeah, they had skulls, like skull hearts as their logos, but the songs weren't really like spooky. They were just like great, like rough and tumble pop punk with a little bit of like an emo kind of edge. I mean, God Damn It is one of the best sounding records I've ever heard. Like, it sounds like it was recorded on a tape. Like literally, like you put a Walkman like in a room with a microphone and you just got the best live performance. Like, God Damn It is such an amazing record. And yeah, I just feel like they never really reached those heights again. Although maybe I'll Catch Fire does have some really, really good songs. But yeah, those early days, really love them. Yeah. It was wild. It was totally bizarre. Like, Skiba was just hanging out at the show. This was a long time ago. This was like, I was maybe like 21 or 22. So this was about 20 years ago. So, Alkaline Trio were still kind of, had been growing at that point. This was long before Skiba's Blink 182 days and all that. Yeah. So, and Prince brings up, today is September 11th. I wouldn't say like thanks to the 9/11 tragedy. I'm not going to go there. But when people, My Chemical Romance, that's a band that my wife Kate like really, really loves, and I sort of missed out on when they were big. But I certainly have found an appreciation for them, through Kate, and I love their like grandiose kind of rock opera style and everything. It is encouraging when something great like that, when something creative can be born from something that is sad or tragic or destructive ultimately. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Would we have gotten the band either way? I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, it was, man, I mean, not to dive into it for too long, but I was 19 or 20 when it happened, right? It was 01, so I was 19 years old. I was visiting my friend in Kansas City. We were working on some music in a studio there in Chapman Recording in Kansas City. And it was like my second day there. I flew in the day before, and then I woke up the next day, and he actually woke me up, and he was like, Dave, wake up, wake up. Like, our country's being attacked. And it was just completely bizarre. It was really odd to be sort of like away from home and just sort of, not only am I going to remember this event just because of how incredible and, unbelievable it was, but also, the fact that I was on a trip to record music with somebody that was a good friend of mine, like all through middle school and high school. It just sort of really, stamped it down in my memory forever. So, a crazy day, and, something that changed the whole world. Absolutely. My thoughts on the Linkin Park drama, Chad. Ooh, you're getting into the goods. Well, I'm not a Linkin Park fan, never have been. More power to you if you love their music. That's cool. I've never been into like the pop side of like the new metal. I like the first couple Korn records before they got all smoothed out and went to MTV. I really like the grit and the toughness of the first two Korn records. Everything after that, though, you can throw $3 Bill Y'all by Limp Bizkit in there with like the gritty side of new metal. Everything after that was like really smooth and really poppy. Not even like as poppy as Blink 182, in my opinion. And so I have heard some drama because the woman that they had, jump in as their new singer, apparently like she's Scientologist or something. She has defended Danny Masterson with like all the crazy wild stuff, that he was accused of and convicted of. And so I've seen people out there that are like, wow, it's really odd that, because Chester was like actively fighting like human trafficking and all that kind of stuff, and abuse and all those sorts of things that I don't even know if I really want to say the actual words on the channel here, because I don't want YouTube to silence us. But I do think it's as Alanis Morissette would say, isn't it ironic, right, that you bring in somebody to replace your singer and they're almost like the antithesis of what your singer stood for, which I think is unfortunate. I don't know what this person sounds like. I've never heard any of her music or heard her previous band. I'm not interested in listening because Linkin Park has never done anything for me at all. I don't see, I personally don't see any artistic value in their music. So I guess I'll just stay out of the drama. But if what everyone is saying is true, that, this woman has said these things and is involved in, this group that has a very, very dubious track record when it comes to the treatment of their members, then yeah, unfortunate, big swing and a miss. But I have seen a lot of people out there that are huge Linkin Park fans, and they're really pumped about it. So I don't know, I've been jamming some We Were Promised Jetpacks. I've not heard that band, Eli. I've got to check them out. Could you send me an email and let me know which album I should check out first? That would be great. Jamie says, I remember 9/11 quite well. I was pregnant and packing to move into my house from my old apartment. I had nightmares about being buried by a falling building for weeks. She was 27 years old. Yeah, it was so wild. I mean, when I woke up, my buddy woke me up and I went to we went to watch the news, and that's like right when the first tower was falling. So I slept through, we were in Kansas City, so we were a couple hours behind New York. So I missed the impact and all that kind of stuff. Like I saw the first tower fall, and it was just like totally wild. And something that was like tragically like unifying for the country, especially after an election that was like hotly contested and debated, and a lot of people were upset with how things went. But the tragedy brought I think most Americans together, at least for a time. But then it also brought, another war. And I don't, we don't really talk about politics here, but I don't care who's starting it. I'm not a fan of war because I don't like seeing people die. Like, not a fan. So I understand that sometimes in human history, push comes to shove, and those things, for whatever reason, have to take place. But it doesn't mean that I have to like it. And I don't care who is the person deciding whether or not to go in. I don't like it regardless. So that's all I'll say about that. Raymond says, I don't think the Speak No Evil movies are for me. I heard they're really unsettling, and I barely managed to get through Megan is Missing. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way with some of those really intense, like, as long as I have a loved one next to me, maybe it's a little bit easier, you know? But yeah, there are some movies where I'm just like, man, this is really like, this is tough for me. And I try to be a big boy about it, but yeah, I mean, you got to know yourself and what you can handle. Stir of Echoes is awesome, Jamie. Yes, Kevin Bacon is a boss. Yeah. You know what? He's just not afraid to do anything. He's one of my favorite actors of all time because it just seems like he is always taking on new challenges and, having fun every single time he's in a movie. I never think that Kevin Bacon's not performing well, regardless of whether or not I like the movie or whatever. He's always great. Like, I mean, his performance in Axel F, the new Beverly Hills Cop movie, was amazing. Like, I loved him in that movie. And yeah, of course, Maxine, and he was in, what was it, Death Sentence, as well. So he's been in movies that are like, yeah, straight up horror, and then something like Death Sentence that's like a revenge film with certain, horror kind of elements in there. And then Raymond says that Stir of Echoes just had its 25th anniversary a few days ago, so watched it to celebrate. Yeah, that was a movie I owned. I picked that one up on VHS when I was in high school because I watched it, rented it and watched it, and then a couple months later, Blockbuster's selling a copy on VHS for like $3.99, and I was like, boom, like I'm gonna watch that a whole hell of a bunch. What's happening, John Doe Juggalo? How you doing, man? John Doe, have you seen Off Ramp yet? If so, let me know your thoughts. I'm curious to know. I watched it last Friday because originally on tonight's show, we were going to have Jared Bankins, who is in the film. It is about a couple juggalos going to the gathering of the juggalos. So I'm curious to know if you've checked it out yet. And we will get Jared on the show. We just had to reschedule because he is busy working on set. So just want to make sure, we can get him back on when it fits his schedule. And Jamie absolutely saw Stir of Echoes in the theater. Antona says, Davey, what horror movie are you most excited for out of the four you posted? I think I'm looking forward most to, I think Terrifier 3 probably, just because I know it'll be really exciting, Antonis. I think Nosferatu is going to be really good. I love Robert Eggers. I think what he creates with the atmosphere and the mood and really putting you in that time and place, I think he's incredible at doing that. But I know it's going to be a story that like I've seen before. You know what I mean? So Terrifier 3 is going to be something a little newer, a little more exciting. And I'm relatively new to Terrifier. As you know, Antonis, I just watched the two films for the first time within the last few months. So I think Terrifier 3 is what I'm most excited for out of those four. It's Me, Billy Chapter 2 is my most anticipated film for the remainder of the year. But out of those four, Terrifier 3. Yeah, John Doe Juggalo. I see him over on Born to Be Rad. I think I've definitely seen you on some other channels as well. So I love seeing that within the community here. People that like sometimes I'm in the chat and I'm saying what's up to you. And then, once a week you can pop on over to my channel and hang out in the chat as well. It's really, really cool. Yeah, man, the watch parties are going to be awesome, Eli. The Davey Science Theater 3000 idea is Eli's idea. So I got to give him all the credit on that one. And yeah, I think that's Eli just, man, he's how much of the content here on the channel are you responsible for at this point, Eli? It's wild. Providing Eli had sent over the first 4 seasons of Tales from the Crypt, which sparked that idea of covering that whole television series because it's one that I grew up with as a kid and absolutely adore. If you guys are new to the channel, I have a few reviews up for Tales from the Crypt episodes, as well as watch parties for the episodes that we've covered. So go ahead and check those out. Absolutely. And yeah, John Doe Juggalo gets around a little bit. Absolutely. Davey, why, when we have questions for Late Night with the Davey guests, you don't read them? Well, Antona, sometimes it just depends on, like, I might miss them because I'm involved in that conversation with the guest. Sometimes, maybe I don't have a lot of time with the guest and just want to make sure that we can cover, sort of what we're talking about. And I want that conversation to be able to, flow freely. So I would say that, if you really want to make sure a question gets asked on an episode of Late Night with the Davey, then go ahead and throw a super chat out there. Even if it's just $1 or $2 or something, you're going to get your question read. But yeah, sometimes I just miss them because the chat gets pretty active. And I'm I want to be able to, I respect and love you guys. Absolutely. I also want to extend that respect and care and focus to the guest as well, because, really to me, they're the star of the show. I've invited them to come on the channel, so I want to give them that attention. But yeah, if you have a question you want to ask them, then drop a super chat, and we'll for sure make sure that question gets asked. Hot take from T. Parker Evans is Nosferatu greater than Heretic, greater than Smile 2, greater than Terrifier 3. Not sure if I'll be seeing Terrifier 3 in the theaters. Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out in theaters just because I missed the second one in the theaters, so I just kind of want to like check out that atmosphere and everything. Like, it could be really, really fun. But I get what you mean. I mean, I think that Terrifier is just not everyone's cup of tea. It's certainly not my preferred style or genre, like, over the top splatter. But I do think there is something charming about Art the Clown. And I think I was encouraged by Terrifier 2 really kicking things up a notch. I think that Terrifier 3 could be the best out of the three. So I'm hopeful of that and want to give it a shot for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I missed some of them, Jamie. I'm not perfect, you guys. I'm just not perfect. But yeah, I mean, if you want to make sure your question gets read, throw a buck or two to the channel, and there you go. Yeah, that is the way. Yes, Terrifier's music is awesome. Erica knows what she's talking about. Nicholas says there are 33 likes now, Davey. Thank you so much for the like count. Raymond loves Terrifier 2, but he's got other plans tomorrow, unfortunately. No worries, man. And you can always watch it on the replay. So if you ever find yourself, during spooky season, popping in Terrifier 2, then go ahead and line up our, our stream and have some fun with us. All right. Never got past Terrifier 1, says Trisha McMasters. Man, I got to say, everyone that's watched Terrifier 1 and then hasn't checked out the sequel, give it a shot. Because after watching Terrifier, I was like, I don't think I can watch a 2-hour plus version of this. And then everyone was like, give it a shot. It's a lot better. And it is so much better, Trisha. I can't even put into words how much better the second film is over the first one. So I think it's worth a shot for sure. What's happening, Paula? How are you doing? We got Paula Fitzhenry, one of our great subs over here and channel members. Paula came over from the Killjoy Jake channel. So another awesome person within the horror community that jumps around and hangs out in chats on multiple channels. So thank you so much for being a great member of the community, Paula, and welcome to the chat. Yeah. Up all night, sleep all day. That's what's up. How are you doing, Jigsaw? Welcome to the chat. Guys, I think this is Jigsaw's first time, so make Jigsaw feel welcome, my Death Squad people. Really, really appreciate you jumping in and checking us out tonight. 33 people in the stream. That is amazing. What's happening? The Daily Ghost. Is this your first time? Is this your first time as well? Daily Ghost? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Everybody make the Daily Ghost feel welcome as well. Always want to make sure the new folks feel appreciated and all that good stuff for sure. Eli says Umbrella hasn't shipped anything yet as far as the Night Owl edition. Okay, well, I'll just keep an eye out and hopefully I don't miss it. Yeah, man, the Night Owl edition of Late Night with the Devil is incredible. You should look it up. I think it might be sold out at this point. May be able to get one on resale or something, but look it up, Ty. It's really, really cool for sure. And holy crap, Gavin dropping 20 bucks. How much money do I have to send you for you to turn this into an Evil Dead 2013 watch along right now? Oh man, I'm not set up to do that right now. I would have to set up, I'd have to bring in the PlayStation in here and get the movie going. But you know what, Gavin, we can set something like that up here for this spooky season. Of course I can't show it on the screen or anything like that, but I love Evil Dead 2013. I absolutely adore that movie. So you don't have to twist my arm on that one, my guy, not at all. Yeah, that's something we can certainly cook up. So let's figure out a time where we know you're not going to be at work, Gavin, so you can jump in and enjoy the whole thing. All right. That'll be the way to go for sure. Oh yeah, so let's see here. Let me check out what else is going on. Thank you so much for the 20 bucks, Gavin. That's amazing. I think that's the biggest super chat we've gotten here so far on the channel. So really appreciate your support, not only previously as a patron, but also moving over here as a channel member and dropping the super chat, of course. Love you, Gavin. Love you to bits. Let's see here. Jamie loves My Chemical Romance. There you go. Nicholas says we are part of the OG community chat for this channel. You certainly are, Nicholas. You guys are amazing. Raymond drops in with the RIP James Earl Jones. Grew up with his voice as Darth Vader. Yeah, you know, it's lived a long life, had a great career. You know, the voice of Darth Vader, the voice of Mufasa from The Lion King. Everyone else knows him from The Sandlot. He was also in Field of Dreams, so we got a couple baseball movies in there as well. What an incredible voice. Absolutely. And yeah, rest in peace, 100%. Raymond Malabar, did you know that his dad is in Sleepaway Camp? James Earl Jones' dad is in Sleepaway Camp. That's amazing. That is amazing. I'll have to watch that again and check it out. Yeah. Let's see here. Antonis, you were 2 when 9/11 happened. Apparently, my mother said I was in preschool and she picked me up and brought me home. Yeah, that happened, I think, with a lot of people. I was out of school, so I could only imagine what it must have been like for people, you know, sitting in class when that was going on. Crazy, crazy business. What's happening, Destiny? We got Destiny Faulkner in the chat, everyone. Great to see you. Love it when you stop by every single time, Destiny. Looks like you had a great time visiting. You must have been out here in the Phoenix area for a little bit and then heading on over to California for the Hollywood Horror Nights. Really, really fun. Love seeing those pictures of you and Braden having a blast. You guys are such a cute couple. Love you guys. Let's see here. Nicholas says, Davey, have you heard James Earl Jones? Yes, I did. Yeah, I saw it on all the socials. You know, it was popping up on so many people's socials, and I certainly could have posted something myself as well. I'm not really, I guess sometimes I'm just sort of like, well, you know what? The word is out there. A lot of people in the community are posting about it. So, you know, I don't always feel compelled to just jump on and do it because I'm seeing other people do it as well. But I do really love and appreciate his work. Yeah, I mean, it's sad when anyone goes, it's a part of life, you know, and he did have a long life and a great career. So blessed to, you know, always have those pieces of work to go back to. I think that's one of the great things about, you know, artists and performers. You know, you always have their albums to listen to. You can always go watch their movies to celebrate them. I think that's really special. You know, that's one of the things. Not only is it special when they're alive that they have that celebrity and they get that adoration and love from you know, everyone else that's a fan or part of the movie going, you know, audience or what have you. But really cool that even after they pass, there's a way to still feel like they're there. It's really, really cool. Giving some shit to Gavin for his, oh, look at who it is. Love seeing you guys have fun with each other. I love the log lady. Me too, Jamie. Oh, is that what that is? The log lady. It's log, it's big, it's heavy, it's wood. Shouldn't be a hot take to dislike war, but that's the world we I just mean talking about, you know, because anytime you start talking about that stuff, it just can spill over into, you know, either people making assumptions about how you feel one way or the other politically. And yeah, I mean, it's funny. I don't think it's a hot take. I think there are a lot of people all over the political spectrum that don't enjoy war. But I mean, we've seen throughout history that every single war gets resounding support from plenty of people, unfortunately. And we got Liana Bevy Rage in the chat. What's happening, Liana? Great to see ya. Hope you are down for a solo Davey hang this evening. We've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. Not so bad. Not so bad. Destiny got a damn Speak No Evil trailer on Pinterest. All right, so they're really going for that niche market, huh? Jamie says, Destiny, do you play video games? Alan Wake is basically Twin Peaks. Uh-oh, you said the key words for Destiny. She will have to check that out. I wonder that what kind of we have any people in the chat right now that play like old games? Like anyone that goes and plays like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, or Sega Genesis on a regular? Or do you guys just usually play more modern games? I'm just curious to know. Destiny says Stura Echoes, watched that for the first time this year and loved it. Yeah, it's really, really damn good. Honestly, hot take, better than The Sixth Sense. And it's not even close, in my opinion. I think Stir of Echoes is years better than The Sixth Sense. And especially after everything we saw, from M. Night. I mean, after that, it's like, did he ever really reach that height ever again? Like, I just don't know about that. 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon is still Liana's jam. Oh yeah. Trailers for Speak No Evil. So they're finally out there. It's funny that's the controversy surrounding the movie, is that they just did not release the trailer, until right before the movie's about to come out. That's pretty wild. All right, gonna check out some Alan Wake. Destiny's still working her way through the first season of X-Files. That's a really good show as well. Raymond says Axel F was so fun. My favorite non-horror of the year. Yeah, man. Eddie Murphy like really brought that high energy. It was really cool to see him not really feeling like he lost a step. Similar to what Keaton did in Beetlejuice. But I would say that Beetlejuice just doesn't really have much else working in its favor, whereas Axel F had a whole bunch working in its favor. Again, Kevin Bacon, amazing. John Doe Juggalo has not seen Off Ramp yet, but he has been to The Gathering a handful of times, so he can judge. Yeah, it's a fun little like road trip kind of coming of age sort of Juggalo film for sure. Only like $4 on YouTube to rent it. So, and Destiny is currently wearing her Terrifier sweatshirt. Hell yeah! So I'm guessing you'll be there in the theater. Are you gonna come out here to the Phoenix area and catch it in the theater, Destiny? If so, maybe we can all get together for a big old, Arizona content creation hang or something fun like that. It would be cool to kick it with you guys. I mean, really, other than, bumping into Braden at, a couple press screenings, I bumped into him at H45 as well. And then, we've done that Horror in the High Desert show with Cecil and Jason from Sinister Cinema Reviews. I really haven't gotten to know or spend much time around Braden as well. So it'd be really cool to kick it with you guys in person. Nicholas says, I'm not a fan of wars either. It goes against what I believe. There you go. What's happening, Matt Fatchy? Davey, my sexy stud muffin. Right back at you, Matt. Miss you so much already. We got to get our start bench cut going. I got to get back to you in the DMs. It's been a hell of a 24 hours. I'll tell you that much, bud, but we will catch up here shortly. Let's see what else we got here. Destiny is really enjoying X-Files. Hell yeah. Did I miss something from Eli? Maybe I did. Oh, Raymond's just saying Eli is an awesome dude. Yes, 100% facts. Des, have you watched Lost Highway? I'm having such a hard time getting into Lynch's movies. I don't think I've seen. Is that the one with Bill Pullman? I think it is. Yeah. Oh, Tales from the Crypt is amazing. Yeah, I'm so far behind in the chat because you guys are talking about like things that I mentioned eons ago. So maybe I should skip through the chat. Let me just skip up to the front. You guys are talking about David Lynch movies. There you go. Let's see here. Gavin wants to know if he needs to know anything about Twin Peaks before he gets into it. We got Fight the Good Fight in the chat. What's happening? Fight the Good Fight. He says, I've been trying to like Art the Clown, but he just doesn't do it for me. Terrifier is more funny than horror. It certainly does have a humorous side. Absolutely. I agree with you on that one. And I feel like the second movie has more fun than the first one. I mean, they're both pretty grim and, brutal. But yeah, the second film to me is a lot more tongue-in-cheek for sure. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Seeing Blue Velvet in the theater with my mom when I was 12 was interesting to say the least. Holy crap. Yeah, that's a movie right there. Let's see here. What else am I missing? Just want to make sure we're sort of jumping ahead here. Do. Don't you love that do sound? The Night Owl edition is going for close to $500 on eBay. Holy crap. I think it was like 130, something like that, Eli, if you got it, before it went out. I'd love to be on an Evil Dead 2013 watch along stream. That would be great, Mark. We should put something together, man. Hell yeah. I love that movie and you love that movie. So let's do it together. I already have my Halloween decorations up, says Fight the Good Fight. We're the only ones on our street. Yeah, pretty soon here, we're going to have to get our things going. We have like a little Michael Myers, like a stubby, cute Michael Myers from Halloween 2, like holding a jack-o'-lantern, little blow-up thing that's really cool. And, we kind of bask in the horror stuff like in the house year long. But Kate got a couple pumpkins yesterday, so we'll do some carving and all that kind of fun stuff too. Any thoughts on the absurd $700 price point for the PS5 Pro? The way I feel about gaming systems is I don't buy a gaming system until it's like half the price that it was when it was new. That's what I do, is I just don't buy it when it's brand new, and it's a lot easier. I still have a PS4 and it's working great. It is working great. Aaron says, Davey, I checked out the chats on your recommendation. I really like them. Solid punk rock. The chats. Are you talking about the Beths, maybe? Or it was something else? Maybe I missed something. I don't know if it's a typo. The chats. I don't know of a punk rock band called the Chats, so hopefully I'm not just having a complete senior moment here, a total, brain fart of a moment. Who's your favorite James Earl Jones character? I mean, yeah, the voice of Darth Vader is the most iconic to me. I would say that's my favorite performance of his. I think that, certainly the David Prowse physical performance is really menacing and really awesome, but I think that voice is what really brings it home. What's happening, Cody? Dude who loves movies is in the chat, and he says, don't forget to roundhouse kick that like button. Thank you so much for reminding us here. Yeah, what are we at right now? Let's see here. We must be at, I don't know, Nicholas McMath. Let us know how many likes we have. You got to keep up with the like count. While I'm looking at the YouTube page here, the poll is at 49 votes. We've got Terrifier 3 at 47%, Nosferatu at 43%, Smile 2 at just 8%, and Heretic fallen even further to 2%. Adrian says James Earl Jones guest starred in the very first episode of Sesame Street in 1969. I did not know that. And Jamie says the OG PS5 is fine. I admit I have no idea what it cost, though. It was a gift from hubby. Yeah, it was probably $600 when it came out or something like that. I've yet to play the PS5. I'd love to, though. I've got the, Resident Evil 4 remake. I was able to get that special edition on my PS4. Runs great. I love Resident Evil 4 to death, so I'll play every single version of that game. I own multiple versions already. I have the version on the Switch, so I can play it on the go. That's the original version of the game, but I think it's an HD version of the original. So yeah, really fun stuff. Antona says, I love Halloween Horror Nights. I've been going since 2010. Oh yeah. I'm not the biggest haunted house guy, but that's really cool seeing other people enjoy them for sure. Field of Dreams is so good. I bet Jamie saw it in the theater. Yes, absolutely. Oh, thank you so much, Des. Really appreciate it. Yeah, we got to get a hang on. The next time you're out here, I know I'm all the way on the other side of town, but you know what? I grew up in a place where you couldn't even drive out of the town and you had to take a boat or a plane. So I have no problem taking that hour-long drive for a hang, especially to get to hang with people in person. It's fun doing the YouTube thing and all that too, but really fun to just kick it and be real, fun stuff for sure. T Parker says, makes me appreciate my regular PS5 that came with a disc drive. That price for a slightly better quality and performance is a joke. That's what I've heard, is there's no extra drive or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think the whole video game console thing is sort of a scam. I sort of wish that you could just upgrade the system, you know, like buy the shell and then they sell you the cards and you sort of update it like you would update any other computer, right? I don't know. Yeah, I got to get my little Ren and Stimpy. Long, long, it's big, it's heavy, it's wood. Uh Jamie, it's like Jamie and Destiny have a secret. No one knows what we're well, I certainly don't know what you're talking about. I love it. It makes me think of the Michael Scott moment in The Office where he's like, I love inside jokes. I'd love to be a part of one someday. And then we got Carbonite Dreams in the chat. What's happening, Carbonite? Great to see ya. Jigsaw says the PS5 Pro supposedly comes with a 1 terabyte storage, hence the price. Original PS5 should have had that, but it is what it is. Yeah, they just want to get your money again. It's like anything else, right? They put out 5 different versions of a movie on physical media all at once, and then they know that if you have a physical media YouTube channel, you're going to have to buy every single one and talk about every single one if you want to keep up with the Joneses. And you know, that's one of the things of like, I like to collect physical media and I do like to show those things off on the channel. I just can't, you know, I can't keep up enough to where that is like the sole, you know, thing going on here at the channel. I love that people do that though. Like when I can hop on to a Planet CHH stream or video or Garrett from Born to Be Rad or Frank's Media, all that kind of stuff. Like I love seeing what those guys have and what they're showing off because it's like vicariously I can live through them and just like look in awe at the all the special features and the great packaging and everything. I just can't afford to keep up, yeah, at all. Raymond says all of the legends and icons I grew up with are in their 80s or 90s. I get scared to look at my Facebook and X. Yeah, you know, it's just one of those things, you know, you can't there's no avoiding it. It's going to happen to every single one of us. So I don't mean to sound like, you know, callous or anything like that. It's you know, it's sad to lose people for sure, especially people that had an impact or brought you joy and all that. But yeah, you know, it's one of those things where I think that when somebody passes, especially if they're able to live a full long life, you know, the best way to go about it is to celebrate what they do and try to look back fondly and, you know, with as much joy as possible. We got Critic After Dark in the chat. What's happening, Critic? This might be your first time in the chat. If it is, then welcome, welcome. Everybody make Critic After Dark feel welcome hanging out with the Death Squad. Holy crap, we have 38 people in the stream. We are at the peak right now at about an hour and a half in. So I do want to let everyone know that's new to the channel. Maybe this is the first time you're hanging out in the stream. Usually on Late Night with the Davey, I have a guest. I bring on a content creator or a musician or an actor, filmmaker, author, you know, somebody in the creative world to get to know the audience. The audience gets to know them a little bit and I get to know them as well. Tonight, my guest had to, we're just going to have to reschedule my guest from tonight, who is Jared Bankins, an actor that I got to know from the Twisted Metal TV series. He is in a movie called Off Ramp that just came out this past Friday on September 6th. So you can rent that on YouTube for just $4. I think there's a limited run in theaters, but you can catch it on all streaming platforms. And yeah, we just have to reschedule with Jared, but I'm really looking forward to having him on because his performance in Twisted Metal just it like I had this moment where I was like, that's Freddy Krueger. Like I want this guy to be Freddy. And so I put together a video back in the very, very early days of the channel, probably about, 10 months ago or so, just all about why I think Jared Bankins would make a great Freddy Krueger. So if you're a Nightmare on Elm Street fan or just a fan of horror and you're curious to know who this guy is or why I think he would make a great Freddy Krueger, then check out that video. I lay it all out, lay it on the line there in that one. So hell yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, Critic. I hope you have a great time hanging out. Eli plays N64 and PS2. Those are great systems, man. The PS2 is a really fantastic system. I'm a huge, I never owned a Super Nintendo as a kid. That's like one of those consoles I just never got. It's eluded me. But I love the Super Nintendo a lot. I think it has so many great games. Super Castlevania 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. Of course, the Donkey Kong Country games, especially Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. Contra 3, the Alien Wars, the original Mario Kart is still amazing. Super Mario World is absolutely incredible. But I was a Sega kid growing up. I had a Genesis, and I still love the hell out of the Genesis. I would say Genesis and Super Nintendo, for me, they're neck and neck. It just sort of is about the kind of game you want to play, because there's certain games on Sega that you can't play on Super Nintendo, and vice versa. Jamie still plays the OG Resident Evil on PS1. That is awesome. That's so cool. Fight the Good Fight. So bored with games today. I'm going through Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2 again. Hell yeah. There you go. Boom. Daily Ghost agrees with me that Stir of Echoes, no question, is better than The Sixth Sense. There you go. Carbonite, those are my favorite games, man. The first 3 on the NES, Super Castlevania 4. I really love. I have the TurboGrafx 16 Rondo of Blood game on my Wii, on the original Wii. You can actually, there was a time where that Japanese version from the Turbo Duo was available, and I picked that up. That's an amazing game. I really like the DS games as well. I've picked up those, I own them on the original, like the DS and then the Game Boy Advance games. I really dig those, and I ended up picking them up on the Switch in the, Castlevania collector's packs, just so I can, have them all readily available. I still have, my old cartridges and everything, but it's nice to just take the Switch and have all those games to play, for sure. Paula agrees. Paula, I'm hoping you agree that Stir of Echoes is better than The Sixth Sense, but let me know. Let's see, just catch up a little bit here. Gavin does love Beetlejuice. It's his favorite movie of the year. T. Parker says, best thing about modern games is them remaking the old classics. In my opinion, this generation of gaming has been disappointing. Yeah, it is fun to see the remakes of those Resident Evil games and all that kind of fun stuff. I feel like the bummer about the modern technology is, I think, you guys have sort of said, you've hit on a couple things, being boring, disappointing. I think the technology's gotten to the point where now it's like every game's the same, right? Like even back in the day when side-scroller, when they're, side-scrolling platformers were like the thing, they all had like different mechanics, different physics, different power-ups. But man, now it seems like when you go from something like Grand Theft Auto to Tomb Raider to Uncharted to, whatever the next hot game is, that it's all pretty much the same. I would say like Dark Souls, Demon Souls, like those sorts of games, maybe they're a little bit different because you really feel like the weight of the weapons and everything, and those games are very difficult. But yeah, I think modern gaming is so samey, unfortunately. And honestly, like I still like playing side scrollers. Like when they make new games that are like retro style, like those are some of my favorite games. Like Cave Story. Have you guys ever played Cave Story? That's a really great Metroidvania game. That's a hell of a lot of fun. And it's like, gosh, it's almost like Atari graphics. I mean, it's beautiful. Like the artwork is beautiful, but it's very, simple and so charming. I grew up, Atari was my first system too, Trisha. I'm the 5th of 5 kids. So it was Atari, Nintendo, Genesis, and then I was sort of on my own to get my own gaming systems after that. I totally hear you on that one. Fight the Good Fight. SNES is amazing. Such a great system. So many games, something like 500 or 600 games on that system. Yeah. Raymond says they brought all the characters back that they could in Axel F. It was so cool. Yeah, and it worked. I think that's the great thing too. It worked. That's a tough time, that's a tough thing to have. Even in Beverly Hills Cop 3, Kate and I watched that recently. Man, when they bring Surge back, it's really forced. It's really odd. It just sort of like mucks stuff up. But yeah, in Axel F, it all works. No, you guys are going to be in Florida. Oh, that sounds like a terrible time. No, I hope you guys have a blast out there. And of course, yeah, we'll meet up sometime. Yeah, I know it'll happen. I just want to, maybe the word on the street is that I'm a big jerk that doesn't want to ever hang out with anyone. Who the heck knows? No, I just wanted to put that out there. It'd be really cool to kick it with you guys. But also, I totally understand that, when there's a little bit of long distance for a couple, that when you guys get to spend time with each other, like you want to spend time with each other. Like that's totally valid too. Yeah. What's happening, D.A. Mac? It's going great. We are having a hell of a time here on Late Night with the Davey. It's a solo show for me tonight. Our guest had to reschedule, so I just wanted to kick it with everybody here. But welcome to the chat. Everybody make D.A. Mac feel welcome. I believe this is your first time hanging out. And yeah, every Wednesday we go live at 10 p.m. Eastern, and we bring on, a content creator or some sort of person in the creative community and have a chat, little interview, little discussion, and also hang out with you guys in the chat. And man, just so you know what else we do on the channel, there's a show called Movie Punks that I've got with my buddy Foz Rotten, where we talk about a movie that has a punk rock edge. We go live for that one. I do a little something called Start Bench Cut with my guy Matt Facci from Facci Cinema, which is a really fun live show as well. I also do Movie Date with Davey and Kate with my wife, Kate, where we watch films and we talk about movies, do like an open discussion. And yeah, covering Tales from the Crypt, all sorts of stuff, content just coming out the ears. And I wanted to bring it up again because we had talked about it earlier. We're going to be doing Davey Science Theater 3000. That's going to kick off in October. We are going to be watching public domain films here on the channel and having a good time, just sort of, maybe making fun of them a little bit, maybe revering them a little bit. We're going to kick things off with the original Night of the Living Dead from 1968 by my favorite director of all time, George A. Romero. I adore this movie. We're going to have some fun with it. Absolutely. But I love the movie. And I can't wait to watch it with you guys. It'll be a blast. So I'm going to start putting together those streams, and I'll let you guys know when those have been announced on the channel, so you guys can set the notification bells and everything. Prince has a PSP emulator on his phone, so he can stream on Twitch with the phone. That's pretty cool. That is pretty damn cool. Gavin does not love Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Destiny lies about everything. She doesn't even live in America. Hopefully I did that justice there for you, Gavin. Terrifier 1 is Big Rod's jam. There you go. But absurdity is so beautiful, isn't it, Destiny? Brent Madison, the Late Night with the Devil air freshener that came with the Steelbook smells good, for your information. What does it smell like? Does it smell like David Dasmalchian? I hope so, Brent. And welcome to the chat, Brent. Brent is one of our fabulous channel members here. So welcome, welcome. Glad you're kicking it with us here. It's true. Destiny is in Texas. Don't give away her exact location, though. When Destiny does drink-alongs on Fear Freak, she replaces it with water. Oh, damn. Shots fired. That's funny that you bring that up, Gavin, because I have an uncle that did stand-up comedy for a really long time, and he would bring like 10 shot glasses on stage with him, and they were filled with like iced tea. And he basically would get the audience to order shots and drink more to increase the bar tab, to increase then the amount that he got from that percentage. And he would randomly during a set, he'd be like, shot, and he would grab his, iced tea and just shoot the iced tea, and everyone would like finish their drink and order another. So it happens. It happens, brother. The horror in Art the Clown / the Terrifier movies is in the playful glee and joy Art takes in the brutality of his killings. Yeah, and I think the lingering and everything with the gore is definitely something that they're into over there for sure. You should, Destiny, fake it. Why get hungover, huh? Who needs that, right? Empty calories and getting hungover, just enough. It's too much. An ex got me into David Lynch. Besides Eraserhead, I had never seen anything. Best thing that came of that relationship. Sometimes that's how it works, Big Rod. You gotta take what you can get from those relationships that don't work out. Absolutely. D.A. Max says, I've got my Jason jack-o'-lantern my buddy made me, ready to go. That sounds awesome. Is it like some sort of like decorative jack-o'-lantern or something like that? Or did somebody actually carve you a real pumpkin and then find a way to preserve it? Let me know. Nicholas just got a PS5 this year for his birthday. Doesn't need the Pro. Yeah, who needs it? I think consoles getting cheaper is a thing of the past. Sadly, everything has stayed the same or gotten more expensive in the past 4 years. Yeah, that's disappointing. Hopefully, just down the road when they, once they announce the next system, the previous system would drop a little bit in value, even if it's just $100. But yeah, that'll kind of keep me away from buying gaming systems. And you know what? I'll just say it. I'm a Nintendo sucker at this point because I feel like they're the only ones that don't really jerk you around with that kind of crap. The Switch really wasn't that expensive, and you can argue that it's not as powerful, but also like I'm an old school gamer, so I don't look for like the specs don't get me going when it comes to gaming. What gets me going is like the quality of the games, right? The way that I feel about gaming is the way that I feel about attractive actors and actresses. If you can't perform, I don't care how good you look. And with a system, it's like if you're going to be so expensive that I'm priced out, then you know what I'll do is I'll just buy something I can afford and I'll find games that actually fit my taste a little bit better. Yep, Mr. Myrtle from The Sandlot is Big Rod's James Earl Jones role. Yeah, that's a really great one. I haven't seen that movie in way too long. When I was in middle school, like I wear glasses most of the time. I have contacts in right now. But when I was in middle school, so many people called me Squints. It was really funny. Everyone friggin' called me like that's the only nickname I ever had like throughout school. Was it because I also, even though I was nerdy, I also got the hottest chicks? I don't know. Maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it wasn't you that recommended them, but it's definitely the chats. Yeah, I've never heard them, but now I got to check them out, right? If it's solid punk rock, like I got to check it out. So there you go. 40 likes, says Trisha McMasters. That's amazing. Hell yeah. 41. Boom, just keeps on going up. We got Wade effing Wilson in the chat. How you doing, Wade? Great to see you, man. He says, good to see you live, brother. Hope you're doing well and looking forward to catching up on the channel. Hell yeah, Wade. I hope life is treating you very, very kindly also. I know you're about 8 hours ahead. If I remember correctly, you're in the UK. So maybe you're at work right now, working away. I really appreciate you jumping in and and saying what's up, man. The channel is just going to start getting busier and busier as we, now that we're in spooky season. So keep an eye out because we got a whole bunch of collaborations coming. This week is bonkers. I was on Killjoy Jake's channel yesterday, here tonight. Sledgehammer Horror and Rockland Graves Productions for a Terrifier 2 watch party tomorrow. I have my Ron Sloan interview dropping on Friday the 13th. He played Junior in A New Beginning. And then on Saturday morning, I'm going to be on live with Shay Rance. He's out in the UK, and we're going to be doing our top 5 best and worst horror movie remakes. So that's just this week. It's going to be crazy. Destiny loves haunted houses. Maybe I'm missing out. Maybe I am missing out. I get scared in haunted houses, Des. I like I said the other day, I think it's like the protection of the screen when I'm watching a movie, it feels safe watching you, however uncomfortable the film gets, I feel safe. But when I do a haunted house, I do get worried about physical interactions. It freaks me out. Freaks me out. Gavin says I had a PS4 but left it at my ex's house after our breakup. Oh, yeah. You miss playing MLB The Show. What she did is she probably took a baseball bat and hit it, and said, "I bet you miss playing MLB The Show," while beating the crap out of your PS5 or PS4. Sorry. I do remember you recommending the Beths, but haven't had the chance to check them out yet. Yeah, and they're a little like garagey. I absolutely love the Beths, you guys. If you haven't listened to the Beths, oh my God. I love all their records. Their latest record, Expert in a Dying Field, is so charming and amazing. But all their music is really, really good. They're an incredibly layered, catchy band. Absolutely. And Destiny says that's the only kind of scared she likes. All right. That's awesome. Ready for the corn mazes. Hell yeah, DA Mac. Yeah, that is crappy, Liana. And it's, maybe you just never know if things end like so poorly that you can't even go back to that person's place to get your stuff. That's a bummer. You shouldn't have to pack everything up in a bindle like you're a homeless person from a 1940s TV show or movie. When you break up, people should be mature and grown up about it and let you get your stuff for sure. I did see something about that, Nicholas. I don't really like it, just pops up on my news feed somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel anything for Harvey. You know, it seems like the way that he and his brother ran their business was just bad in every sort of way. Like they interfered with their filmmakers, so they weren't friendly to the people on the creative side, and then they were, criminal behavior behind the scenes. So, yeah, don't feel too much for him there. Still use my PS4, says Jamie. Why transfer my games to the 5 when I could just keep them on the 4? There you go. My 4 makes this sound like it's a plane taking off, like it really is the fans having a tough time, but it still works a-okay. It's just a little noisy. Dude, that's the thing, Destiny, about the Phoenix area. It's so flat and spread out that's just what happens. Like if I want to go, like my family lives, I think, relatively close, but it's still about like 20 minutes, and that's close. But yeah, I mean, I drive when I go out to hang out with Cecil or go to a press screening or, whatever. It's an hour to get out there. But you know what? It's just, that's part of living in the city. A lot of cities, even if you don't go that far, just with traffic, like nonstop traffic, you end up spending an hour in the car anyways. So I'm sort of like, to me, it's just, as Cousin Eddie says in Christmas Vacation, or no, it's not Cousin Eddie, as Clark says in Christmas Vacation, it's all part of the experience, honey. Raymond says, if you're new here, make sure to sub to the main man, Davey, and join the Death Squad by getting a membership. Hell yeah, Raymond. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, we are, let's see how close we are to 1,000 subs here. We are at 979. Guys, we are 21 subs away from hitting the 1K mark. How awesome is that? I feel it. I feel like we're going to get there here. Maybe by the weekend, if I'm lucky. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, let me kind of catch up with you guys because I feel like I keep on falling behind. Sometimes I find it hilarious what CHH thinks is a great horror movie. He loves some of those really shoddy shoestring budgeted crap fests, but it's fun to witness his joy for them. I think that's the thing too, is like, just how much fun do you have with it, right? Like, even if a movie isn't technically good or technically impressive, right? Like, do you have a fun time watching it? Because I think for me, that definitely plays into account on a certain level. I'm trying to think of like the most schlocky kind of movie that I enjoy. I mean, Gavin had Kate and I watch Intruder earlier this year, and that was a really fun, sort of not slapdash, because that makes it seem like they weren't trying, because they certainly were trying, because the effects are so impressive in Intruder, but it does have a little bit of that kind of schlocky, Raimi-esque kind of feel to it. And I really enjoyed that. But I know what you mean. Like, Toxic Avenger, I think, is like kind of fun for what it is. Some of those other trauma movies, I just have a really difficult time watching. But yeah, I mean, I think if there's one thing that I know about, CHH, it's that he just has so much love and celebration for the medium. So to me, I think that's really cool and inspiring that he keeps it positive. And also I think he's trying to just see, can these movies have an audience that grows over time? Maybe there are other people like him that, do enjoy, give these movies an A for effort kind of, I can certainly say, Aaron, that with music, I like rough sounding albums that just don't have the highest production quality, but if the songs are good, it still works for me. And maybe that's a little bit of what, Christian has kind of going on with his taste in those, shoestring budgeted crap fests. I want to use your verbiage because it's way better than anything I could ever come up with, for sure. DA Max says, Davey, I was curious about your opinion of The Exorcism of Emily Rose. You know what? I have not seen that movie. I have so many blind spots, and that's one thing you'll learn if you keep on coming back to the channel. I have a massive love for horror, but I'm a big rewatcher. I spend a lot of time rewatching movies, And there are so many movies that have come out within the last like 15, 20 years that I've totally missed out on. Exorcism movies for me are a little hit or miss. I don't know what it is. It's because I love possession type movies, like something like Evil Dead. It's, you know, one of my favorite franchises, obviously. Um, but the religious possession, for whatever reason, it doesn't work for me as much. Like, I can certainly see the value in a film like The Exorcist. Like, I think The Exorcist is a really, really good movie, but it's a movie I don't really rewatch very often, because for whatever reason, the mixture of the religious with the possession just isn't my cup of tea. And it's not like, I mean, I grew up Catholic and everything, and I've got you know, pretty I had it was a good experience. There wasn't anything weird or anything like that that happened to me. But it's not like I'm not a devoutly religious person, so it doesn't come from a place of like, oh, that offends me. Like there's to me, there's nothing offensive about it. It's just like my level of interest just really isn't there, unfortunately. But I wouldn't be against checking it out at all. And maybe I just haven't seen enough of these movies to really have you know, the most informed opinion on the subgenre. So hit me up with a DM. I have links in the description below, so you can find me on like Twitter or Instagram, whatever kind of social that you use, and throw the recommendation my way just so I don't miss it. And I'll keep some notes and make sure to check it out sometime. See what else you guys got here. Critic After Dark says, thank you, glad to be here. And yeah, first time. Hell yeah. Well, welcome. It's really awesome seeing everyone here in the chat just you know, be supportive and welcoming and sweet. One of the things we talk about a lot here on the channel is lifting each other up as a community and just being there for one another and having these hangouts feel like you're hanging out with friends. So I hope you give us a sub and stick around for a bit and check out a little bit of what we have, you know, previously either recorded or some of our previous live streams here on the channel. Especially if you like this format, but you do want to see the interviews. This is the 18th episode of Late Night with the Davey, so you can go back and check out a whole bunch of our other episodes if you'd like. We just had Cody Leach on the channel not too long ago. That horror couple was on last week. Killjoy Jake was a few weeks ago. So it's been a whole hell of a lot of fun, Critic. Fight the Good Fight says, Pizzal recommended Night of the Demon, the Bigfoot movie, and I bought it. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. Yeah, you know, I mean, that's the thing is you take those recommendations and it's like, oh, you never know, right? Genesis had blood on Mortal Kombat. If you knew the code, it beats any SNES. Yes, absolutely. That first Mortal Kombat is way better on the Genesis. Yep, 100%. Let's see what else you guys got going here. Did Pizzao mean Night of the Demons? I think he's a fan of that one. Yeah, Night of the Demons is good. Night of the Demon, probably not so much. If they don't cast Michael Cera as Freddy, I don't want to see it. That's hilarious. If it's not Bill Skarsgård, I won't go watch it, and Mike Flanagan better be directing it. Mike Flanagan has to direct every horror movie now till the end of time. I don't know who I'm really making fun of or talking about there. Just don't have time for gaming, says Aaron. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I try to find some time here and there to do it, but anytime I pick up a video game system, I'm like, well, I could be doing something else. So yeah. Liana says, I make my husband play the games while I watch like a movie. That's what got me into Resident Evil 4, was watching my buddy play it on the GameCube. And I was just like, man, this is really awesome and fascinating. Like, what the hell game is this? Like, I got to get in on this one. Absolutely adore that game. Arguably my favorite game of all time. One of the most innovative games of all time, for sure. That whole idea of the camera being, you know, behind the main character and up, and being able to, you know, control where the camera went while simultaneously controlling your character on screen. That was revolutionary in Resident Evil 4. It had never been done like that before. So not only is it a really fun game, but really important as far as like the landscape for gaming moving forward. What's happening, Brandon Collins? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the Davey Death Ray channel. Brandon, is this your first time over here? I think I see you. I feel like I've seen you over on Dave McCrae's channel and maybe some other live chats as well. So, yeah, let me know. Welcome to the chat, and everybody make Brandon feel very welcome here. And yes, Jamie, don't forget to slash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join the Death Squad. Hell yeah, just for 99 cents a month, guys, you could be a member. For $1 a month, we do live watch parties exclusive for members. We also do some live watch parties that are public also. And then sometimes I just hop on a stream just with the members, and we get to have an intimate hangout, do a little Q&A session. It's similar to kind of what we're doing here, but it's a lot more focused, and you guys get more of my attention to every little thing that you're saying. So and then still working up content to build that. As the memberships grow, I want to build more content that's just for those members. So think about it. Think about it. And we've got, let's see here. Looks like the Daily Ghost sub. Thank you so much. You rock. Really appreciate you. And we've got King of Sanity in the chat. Says, my girlfriend wants me to start eating healthier, so I stuck veggie straws up her butt. Well, that's one way to do it, King of Sanity. That's one way to keep your sanity. I've never been one to eat food out of anybody else's orifice, regardless of what the orifice is. But you know what? I'm not going to tell you what to do in the bedroom, and I'm certainly not going to tell you what to eat. So, you just got to make those decisions on your own. I'm a big candy junkie, King of Sanity. So I tried to back off on the candy. My wife is a big baker and she likes to, cook food and bake sweets. So I'll eat her homemade baked sweets and try to stay away from the candy. That's how I made my healthy decision. Not better than The Sixth Sense. Donnie Wahlberg was in that movie. He was in that movie, and I do think The Sixth Sense is a good movie, Paula. I just like Stir of Echoes more. That's all. Wish I could pop out to Arizona and hang out with all four of you or whoever else is out there. Yeah, you know what? There's a lot. It's, Braden is out here. Cecil from the Horror Show channel is out here. Robert the Wolfman, who you guys always see in the chat, he's part of the Horror Show channel as well. Jaime and Fuego, who's another Horror Show channel member. And then there's Jason from Sinister Cinema. And some others. I know some folks just don't want to maybe have everyone know where they're at, so I don't want to dox anyone or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, Phoenix is a massive city, so plenty of content creators out here for sure. Yeah, not a huge fan of zombies. Ooh, I do love the zombie subgenre, Paula, but I get it. It's gotten a little tiresome as of late, but I really like the Romero style zombie. Other movies like Dead Alive, I like that kind of sort of like comic booky, over the top kind of zombie, all the ridiculous amount of blood and everything is really fun. Yeah, Beetlejuice is a fun experience in the theater. I'm pretty lukewarm on the movie, but I think you'll have fun if you go check it out. I would say if you're a fan of the original, it's worth checking out for sure. Night of the Living Dead is still my favorite Romero zombie film. Hell yeah, Aaron. I'm a massive Day of the Dead fan. Like, that's the one that's got my heart forever. So yeah, I'm just kind of there for that. And Paula is a New Kids on the Block fan. No wonder you like The Sixth Sense more for having the Donnie Wahlberg. And Eli is out in Texas as well. Hell yeah. Little American Southwest representing. Liana watched The Heavenly Kid again yesterday. It's the official Terrifier cleanse. Did you see Terrifier 2 yet, Liana? I recommend you check it out for sure. Davey, have you heard Peter Nygard was sentenced to 11? I don't know who that is. I have no idea who that is. I'm here for the likes and to keep everyone informed about everything. Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't know who that person is. I don't keep up on every little bit of news. I try to keep up on what I can keep up on, but also sometimes try to limit my scope, because when you start, sometimes like finding out about every negative thing in the world can just sort of start being overwhelming, and try to just keep my focus kind of on my clan, right? And the 3 cats, my wife, Kate, and then there's you guys. And of course, I mean my family as well. But everything else, it's a lot to keep track of. I feel like no one ever remembers that Donnie Wahlberg was Duditz or Duddits in Dreamcatcher, and he was good. Yeah, I only saw that movie once. I got to revisit that one. Raymond's up in New York State, smart enough to not give out full addresses, even if I knew them. There you go. Yeah, for sure. Donnie Wahlberg in Band of Brothers. Wasn't he also in Saw 2, right? Saw 2, I think. I believe so. Gavin says you went to school before everyone with glasses suddenly became Harry Potter. Hacky people. Yeah. Hackney bullshit. You know, what the hell? The Jason jack-o'-lantern made out of heavy rubber. He painted orange like a pumpkin plastic stem. Set a Jason hockey mask into it. The size of a large pumpkin. My favorite Halloween decoration. That is awesome, DA Mac. That's really, really cool, man. Sounds like you got a good buddy there. T. Parker says thoughts on the Halloween and Ash versus Evil Dead retro game and Silent Hill 2 remake coming out next month. The Halloween game, I'm just sort of like, like I could have some fun playing that probably. The Ash versus Evil Dead game looks really fun. That looks like more of that style, to do that retro, like 32-bit kind of look. That looks like a lot of fun. And, I never played the Silent Hill games. But I would love to give him a shot, and I would tackle that Silent Hill 2 remake just for, I know it's all about that like sense of dread and everything like that. So yeah, I'd be into that for sure. I don't know if I'm doing like a watch party on Friday the 13th. It's so Kate and I, our first date was on a Friday the 13th, and we got married on a Friday the 13th. So like every time one comes around, it's sort of like we kind of celebrate it like a little mini anniversary of sorts. So I think we're just gonna have a night that's just for us. But I'll be dropping that interview in the morning, and then I'll be back on Saturday to do that stream with Shay Rants. So yeah, I think this Friday the 13th, maybe sit that one out for a watch party. But there's going to be so much content out there. I'm sure there's somebody great doing something that you could pop into, Raymond. But we will certainly keep the watch parties going, just kind of on a regular. Well, I don't know if it'll be a regular schedule or consistent, but we'll keep them up for sure. And Wade is at work catching this live for a bit. Yeah, always great to have you popping in. And yeah, of course, Wade, wish you nothing but the best as well, man. Love that sweet sweater Deadpool pic you've got there. So cute. I haven't watched the MTV Music Awards since I was a little kid, pretty much. But I bet they're pretty fun, right? Yeah, I have the same kind of thing, Fight the Good Fight. I haven't seen them through the 90s, or since the 90s, but I'm sure it's a really fun spectacle for sure. Yeah, pop music is like I have certain pop artists that I like, but most of it is not really my thing. But I had a fun time watching those shows, as a kid. Seeing the live performances is pretty much what I was there for sure. Yeah, Paula, I totally get you on that one. Me neither. Not a fan. Let's see what else we got here. Holy crap. 48 likes, Nicholas McMath. That's wild. Yeah, I mean, Christmas Vacation, Paula. Yeah, that's a must watch every year. There was a time in my life where I probably watched it 2 or 3 times every Christmas season when I was a little kid. Big time fan of that. What's happening, Lamontre? Great to see you in the chat, my guy. Thank you so much for dropping by. Love seeing folks pop on in. And speaking of folks popping in and out, let's check our poll, because we've got 57 votes on which upcoming 2024 horror film are you most excited for. 59 votes. Terrifier 3's got 47%. Nosferatu's got 41%. Smile 2 coming in at 8%. And Heretic 3%. Ooh, so Heretic has gained a little bit of ground here. Went from 2% to 3%. All right. Let's see here. The bra scene with Rusty is classic. Can't see the line, can you, Russ? And we got let's see who. Joe Fierro. Fallen is my favorite possession movie. Man, that is a really, really good film, Joe. And Joe, welcome to the chat, my guy. Everybody make Joe feel welcome here. I think we have a first timer hanging out with the Death Squad. Joe, if you like these sorts of hangs, you're going to want to sub to the channel. It is the way to get this sort of hang at least once a week. Usually on this show, I have a guest, but we had to do a little bit of improvisation because our guest needed to reschedule in the 0 hour. So we'll have Jared Bankins on as soon as we can get him scheduled in. But yeah, you just got me tonight, but plenty of content on the channel for you to check out. We are racing towards 1,000 subs. Guys, we are at 979, so we are still 21 subs away. So do what you can to push us across the line, and we'll have a big old 1,000 subscriber bash. That'll be great. Maybe I'll get a whole bunch of guests coming in on that one. Who knows? Who knows what we'll do? We'll have to figure something out. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself, but very, very excited for sure. Paula Fitzhenry says, I love Joseph Quinn. Can I vote for him for sexiest man alive? I don't know. Who is Joseph Quinn? Let me look this person up, Paula, because I don't know who this is. Is it, let's see here. Let me Google Joseph Quinn. Quiet Place Day 1, Stranger Things, Gladiator 2. You know, maybe you can. Usually it seems like, because he's only 30 years old, it seems like a lot of times, Paula, they give that sexiest man alive to somebody that's like 50 or 60. Have you noticed that? I think Patrick Dempsey won it last year, and he was like 61 or something like that. It's crazy. It's crazy. But you know what? He can be sexiest man alive in your heart. How about that? Until Dawn seems like it's going to be a good one. The OG is awesome. I'm excited to see what they're planning on doing with it. Yeah, I've never played Until Dawn. I should check it out because I've been hearing some murmurs about it as of late. Really excited that Bringing Out the Dead is getting a new release. It's Scorsese's most underappreciated movie. Had to pre-order that way. That one, that's with Bringing Out the Dead. That's with Nicolas Cage. Is that right? Where he plays the ambulance driver? Yeah. I remember seeing that one. Kind of a dark comedy. I like that. Antonis has got a heavy hitter question here. Davey, what are your thoughts on ice cream? Love it. I mean, cookies and cream, great. Coffee, awesome. Mint chocolate chip, maybe my favorite. Fish food by Ben & Jerry's, oh yeah. Americone Dream, Ben & Jerry's, Bubblegum ice cream without bubblegum bits in it, just the bubblegum flavored ice cream in a waffle cone. Oh yeah. Yeah, ice cream is great. I mean, if you don't like ice cream, you could just get the hell out. You know what I'm saying? I don't eat it all the time or anything like that, but man, especially living here in the desert. Yeah, in the summer, we probably buy ice cream a little bit more than we do any other time of the year. Ewan Bremner as Freddy for me. All right, let's see who this guy is. Ewan Bremner. There we go. Oh yeah, I could see that for sure. He's a little old. 52 years old, I think, is too old to start playing Freddy. So that'll be my rebuttal to you there, Joe. I do think his look is great. Thin face, lanky. I think those two things are what you need. I think he's a little too old. Jared Bankins is 37, and that's like the age that Robert was when the first film came out. I think we need somebody in their late 30s at the oldest, because we want somebody that can play Freddy for a good 10 to 12 years, right? You want like 4 or 5 good movies out of this performer. So that's sort of like my thinking. If you hop on over to my video section on the channel, you can check out a video where I lay out why I would cast Jared Bankins as Freddy. And I get into the nitty gritty of it all there. Nicholas says, I can relate to what you say, Davey. I grew up Christian, and even though I still am somewhat Christian, I still enjoy horror movies and rap, have a pretty dirty mind. Yeah, I think that's just like something that's like a very human thing, right? So regardless of like what kind of religion you're a part of, like as human beings, we all deal with a similar existence, right? And similar thoughts and feelings and desires and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I never let that sort of thing affect the art that I would take in. It may affect the way that I feel about certain issues on, you know, a more serious level or whatever. But as far as art, to me, I just look at that as a creative expression. And I feel like creative expression needs to be protected at all costs. Mike Flanagan is cool and all, but if they ever make another Hellraiser movie, they better put Panos Cosmatos at the helm. That's a demand. There you go. Yeah, I mean, he has plenty of. I think what's great about Flanagan is he's cemented his place in horror, and I feel like he should be able to do the things that he wants to do. So bringing him into other franchises, that's all well and good. But I do think that maybe like just kind of let the guy cook his own food, like buy his own groceries. Like, it's like somebody like Robert Eggers. I think it's cool that he's stepping into Nosferatu. It's probably a project he's wanted to take on for a really long time, or maybe like a dream remake for him to do, right? But I hope that Robert Eggers continues to do work that's a bit more like original and just his own thing, that he doesn't fall into this thing of being brought into somebody else's, property. Brendan Sanford says, how do you think the Redskins did on their first game? Absolutely dreadful. I don't like defensive head coaches in football. I think it's a nightmare because you have to hire an offensive coordinator to run your offense, right? So if you end up having a really good offense, guess what happens? That guy that guy goes and takes a job as a head coach somewhere. And then you have to find somebody else to step into those shoes and make your quarterback still play the right way. So I don't like hiring defensive head coaches. And then especially when you let the opposing quarterback go 24 of 30 for 289 yards and 4 touchdown passes, then you're not even good at the defense. So why are you the head coach? You can't even run the defense. You're not running the offense. What the hell are you doing? If I were the owner, Josh, whatever his face is, like I'd blow up the team again after this year, after what I'm seeing so far. I thought it was absolutely abysmal. And the team won 4 games last year. I would be shocked if they won more than 4 games this year. Remember when games like Aladdin were different on Genesis and NES? Hell yeah. That's friggin' great. I love that. Let's see here. And by the way, Brendan, welcome to the stream. I know you've been popping in on the last handful. Just want to, make sure that I welcome you properly. Yeah, I really like the Aladdin on the Genesis. Is really fun for that like kind of action adventure kind of thing. And then the SNES is a little more like the old school Prince of Persia. Really, really fun, different concepts. Hell yeah, Brandon. Yeah, I see you at Dave's and you're a mod for TSL. Okay, there we go. That's where I recognize you from. Well, man, thank you so much for jumping in. I hope everyone will jump in and make you feel welcome here. Yeah, man, love being part of this community as far as being an audience member. And it's been really fun jumping into the content creation side of it all the last 13 months or so, for sure. Eli says it's super awesome seeing everyone in other channels live streams. The Death Squad is the greatest community. Hell yeah, Eli. That's so sweet of you to say. And, really, it's not even just the Death Squad, too, right? It's like the Born to Be Rad people, the Cody Leach people, the Killjoy Jake crew. Like, we're sort of, all melding together into this really awesome, supportive community. And what's really encouraging is like we all just can't get enough. Like, I'm always hopping in streams. You guys are hopping from channel to channel. I love that people are so hungry for the hangouts and just want to, get to know one another and be pals, It was pretty naughty, Jamie. I mean, I get it. It's like, maybe he's just testing the waters. Maybe harmless enough, but certainly naughty. So yeah, anytime you feel like somebody's overstepped any bounds, then go ahead and do that. Someone might be going to jail. I love this though. Veggie straws aren't even healthy. Got to do harvest snaps, King. Hell yeah. Well, let's see here, guys. We're coming up on 2 hours, 15 minutes. It's been a bit of a marathon here. Just talking all night. I'll probably get going here within the next 5 minutes or so. I'm just gonna have a sip of water so we can finish strong here. But really, really appreciate you guys, hanging out, especially, last minute, kind of having to switch things up here on the stream with having to reschedule Jared. You guys have been amazing. We have 30 people hanging out on the stream right now. I think we topped out at like 36 or 37 or something, which is actually like pretty shocking. I mean, I don't know, when I jump into people's streams and they may have thousands and thousands of subscribers, and I see the amount of people that are in their live streams, and then I see the amount of people that come over here on a stream like this and offer their support, like it's incredibly moving and encouraging and, humbling and awesome. Like you guys, I can't say enough good things about what you guys mean to me as a community and just how awesome you guys are. Yeah, there you go. Carbonite saying the same thing. Veggie straws aren't even healthy. Let's see here. We got Chris Snyder from Movie Misfits Video. What's happening, Chris? Great to see you. That's right. That's right. Chris has rebranded his channel from Movie Misfits to Movie Misfits Video. He's got some vids and live streams rolling out here, in the coming weeks and months, and some really big projects that he's putting together. So if you guys are not subbed over there at Movie Misfits Video, hop on over and give him some love. Absolutely. What's happening, Frank? Great to see you in the chat, bud. We earlier in the stream, we were talking about your Let's Celebrate Spooky Season with Spooky Guests, or is it special guests? Spooky Season with Special Guests vid. Thank you so much for including me in that one, Frank. It was really cool to sit down and watch it and hear everybody talk about, what they love about the Halloween season and what movies put them in the mood for this time of year. It's great. I remember in the 90s just dreaming of a good zombie movie. All we had was Return of the Living Dead 3. Dad found it showing at the scariest movie theater in Texas. Yeah, the 90s were pretty slim. I mean, the Night remake came out in 1990. But other than that, it was really slim for zombie movies. I mean, there's Dead Alive, Dead Alive is a different kind of zombie movie, but yeah, I think that was 91 when that came out, something like that. Yeah, let's see what else we got going on. Donnie Wah, my favorite member of New Kids, and yeah, he's awesome in the Saw series. Hell yeah. Let's see what else we got going on here. John Doe Juggalo says ICP was at the VMAs this year, but the VMAs were just as garbage as it's been for years. Oh, it's funny. I wanted to show Donnie my boobies so bad, but he couldn't see me up there in the Verizon box. Now you have to time yourself out, Jamie. I'm just joking. Christmas Vacation is my favorite Christmas movie, and it's my tradition to play it on repeat throughout the day. That's super cool, Chris. That's awesome. Kate and I have a new tradition with an office Christmas party where the weekend after Thanksgiving, we watch it, and then we watch it like that week of Christmas. We make sure to get at least 2 views of Office Christmas Party in every year. I have a hell of a time with that movie. Really love it. I mean, if it makes you feel better, Jamie, you can show me instead while I dance and sing Hangin' Tough or something. You guys, naughty in the chat. You ever watch the movie Slasher? Is a Japanese horror competition movie. It's cheesy, but a childhood favorite. I've never seen that one, Brendan. Hit me up with a DM on one of my socials and remind me, and I'll put it on a watch list for sure. Holy cow! Daily Ghost became a YouTube member. Awesome. This is what it's all about. Thank you so much to the Daily Ghost. First time hanging out in the chat tonight. Not only did they sub, but they also became a YouTube member. So we've got a brand new channel member and a brand new member of the Death Squad. Everybody welcome the Daily Ghost to the Death Squad family. Hell yeah. Love seeing that. Joe is already subbed. Hell yeah, Joe. Thank you so much. Sorry that I rambled on with my commercial anyways. I have not seen, are you the Bike Riders? I have not seen the Bike Riders. A movie called The Bile Riders, though, sounds really fun. Like they're just riding on bile. Jamie's dropping the ghosty boo. Welcome to the Death Squad. Hell yeah. Love our mods here. I have not seen the Bike Riders, but I heard good things. And it looks like, is it sort of like a modern Easy Rider kind of vibe? Yeah, maybe. Can you only become a channel member on Patreon? No, you can become a patron, or you can become just a channel member on YouTube, or you can do both. But yeah, if you want to become a channel member, Liana, you just hit that little money button right down where you chat. And there's a little spot there for super stickers, super chat, membership, and membership gifting. Now, if you're on your phone, certain phones may not let you do membership. But if you're on a computer, then you should be able to do it. Yeah. For Christmas Vacation, do you remember the mall scene with the shop clerk? That's the scene I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah, with Mary. Well, that's my name. No shit. Yeah. I mean, of course I remember that one as a kid. Like I'd do anything to see the side of a pretty woman's leg, right? I mean, that's what it was all about. So I was just like Chevy in as a kid watching that scene, and maybe sometimes as an adult. But yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about for sure. There we go. Everyone's helping Liana figure out how to be a channel member. And we got more Bile Riders talk. What are your thoughts on the desert pie? I don't know what that is. What is desert pie, Antonis? What did I think of the Patriots' first game? Well, hell, I don't think a lot of people expected them to beat the Bengals, so good for them. Every year in the NFL, there is a team or two that end up surprising everyone. And man, it looks like the Patriots have, enough things put together to surprise some people this year. So, we'll see. It's only week one. It's tough to really know how it's all gonna shake out by the end of the season. But beating the Bengals in week one, I'd be happy with that for sure. Yeah, maybe not as bad, but yeah, I thought it was pretty bad still. Davey, ever listen to subliminal messages videos? No, I don't do that. I listen to some ASMR. There's a few ASMR artists that I listen to on YouTube. Sometimes I just listen to a fan, or I listen to Bob Ross. That's what keeps me calm and all that. Yeah, no one's ever beaten that Lion King video game. I don't really enjoy haunted houses. They freak me out. And yeah, the Bills did win. It was looking pretty sketchy, but Josh Allen pretty much made it all happen himself, which is good for him. Unfortunately, I don't know if the Bills are ever going to be able to break through that window and get to the Super Bowl. It's sort of Patrick Mahomes' world out there, unfortunately, Yeah, it's awesome, Chris. It's amazing seeing the crossover is just super inspiring and really cool. A rising tide raises all ships, and what's good for one content creator is good for another. And I think like, you and I have talked about like this whole idea of like kind of building a network. And even if we don't officially like put a name to a network and all that stuff, it's like the idea that all of us working together, collaborating with each other, supporting one another, getting the channel names of other channels that you look up to and that people that you enjoy working with, just getting the names out there, just whatever it is. Like, I think it's really, really inspiring and really awesome. DA Max is excited for more of these late night chats. Hell yeah. Every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, we have some really exciting guests coming up to close out September. And then, man, I've got some really fun guests lined up for October. On October 2nd, we're going to have Bruce Dale and Dave McCrae, the co-writers and co-directors of It's Me, Billy Chapter 2, are going to be on Late Night with the Davey. That's going to be awesome chatting with those guys. I've been watching Dave McCrae since 2017. I'm a huge fan of not only his work on YouTube, but also his prowess as a fan and as a creator, as a writer and a creative mind, not just content creation on YouTube. So really excited to have him on. We're going to have Vincent DeSanti on in October as well, and Matt from Mad Blood. So I still have 2 spots in October to book. And I'm trying to pull in a couple big guns there. We'll see if that happens. But yeah, DA Mac, just hit that notification bell. Some of those streams are already lined up. So if you want to make sure that you really don't miss the Late Night with the Davies that are, coming down the pike for the rest of the month, you can set individual notifications on those. But just go ahead and hit the bell for the channel. Why not? Why not? Right? Absolutely, Aaron. The cross-pollination is awesome. Talking on heaven's door. Hey, 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 yeah. There you go. All right, time out, Chris. I'm just joking. It's like we're spreading our seeds all over each other's faces. I love that. That's just how I want to say it, Chris. I'm not making fun of you. That's just the way that I think it's fun to say that. In spite of the guests not being able to make it, this has been a great show, Davey. We love the discussion and interaction. Absolutely. I couldn't leave you guys hanging. And I think a big thing too about doing this thing weekly is come hell or high water, rain, snow, sleet, sunshine, whatever, like I'm going to be here for you guys. The show must go on. And I can't believe just the response here has been amazing. Like this is one of the best attended episodes of Late Night with the Davey, and there's not even a guest. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, we had a Jamie Hill from the actress that was in Skinamarink was in the chat earlier hanging out with us when this all kicked off. So it's like, it's just crazy. Like, Frank from Frank's Media and Reviews. Now Chris Snyder's hanging out. People are, Mark from Tales from the Shelf was in here. It's really amazing that even when I went into sort of crisis mode there for a second just to sort of figure out what I was going to do. It's awesome that you guys are so supportive, even though the show is just us hanging out. See here what else we got going. I do want to kind of wrap thing up here. You know what, Gavin, I've still not seen Return of the Living Dead 3. I've been told by so many people, there you go, Chris is jumping in on it too, that it's just so damn good, and I have no idea why I haven't checked it out yet. No friggin' idea. Can't tell you why. Let's see here. Jigsaw watches golf. That's awesome. Golf is a lot of fun. I mean, it's a really difficult sport, so I would say with golf, it's like if you don't enjoy watching it, go try playing it, and then you'll have a great appreciation for how easy these people make it look. Yeah, Office Christmas Party is amazing. Hell yeah, Daily Ghost. Thank you so much for joining and being a member. And look at that, DA Mac became a YouTube member as well. Welcome to the Death Squad, DA Mac. You are awesome. This is incredible. You guys stopping in for your first time hanging out and hyping. I don't know why I said hype. Hopping right on the channel membership. You guys are amazing. Like this is why YouTube has such a great community, and this is why I'm fueled to just keep on doing this more and more, and making you guys a bigger part of my life and what I do, not only as a creative expression, but also the mental health aspect of it all is amazing. Like you guys help keep me sane and straight. Absolutely. We got some welcome to the Death Squad little love messages there from Raymond. My phone would not let, yeah, Aaron's phone doesn't want him to write bike riders. It wants bile riders, as if bile riders is a real word. It's hilarious. And then Jamie Hart throwing out the love as well. Boom, there it is. Oh, dessert pie. Oh, I think you did. I'm sorry. I read it as desert, but it is dessert when there's two S's. I'm sorry, Antonis. I like pumpkin pie. I think other fruit pies are like okay. But I'm a big pumpkin pie fan for sure. Like ice cream cake is really good. That's kind of like a pie. I know they call it cake, but it's kind of more like a pie. It's all fun and games until Bob Ross is your sleep paralysis demon. Yeah, the tap 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 of the knife like really triggers. Like I really do, like the ASMR stuff affects me on a profound level. When I worked at the pizza shop in Portland, every now and then I'd pick up the phone and somebody is, to take somebody's delivery order or whatever, and their voice I would just start melting just from their voice. And then I went to a teppanyaki place with Kate for her mom's birthday, with their family for her mom's birthday once. And like the tap, tap, tap of all the stuff, it was sort of like a Benihana thing, but it was a mom and pop version. Amazing food. But all the tap, 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 like I felt like I was on like 100 milligram edible. I was like melting in my seat. It was wild. Antonis, that is actually my bad, my guy. I'm so sorry. I totally misread it. But yeah, two S's is dessert. I'm so sorry. No, you know how to spell. I don't know how to read. Yeah, it's funny. We're just gonna paint those toes. Ooh, look at that color. I love his whole like there are no mistakes. It's just happy accidents. Just all it's just amazing. Even just like thinking about it, I'm starting to melt right now. There you go. Chris from Movie Misfits Video, the collaborations and crossover is great. Yeah, absolutely, John Doe Juggalo. It's sort of what keeps it just keeps everything feeling so lively. And I think one of the things that I've been like really taken aback by is the people whose channels are so much more successful than mine, the people that do it for a living, that are willing to come here on this platform for Late Night with the Davey. And then some of them inviting me to do a collaboration on their channel. Like those are the things that really kind of blow my mind for sure. Yes. Yeah, Chris is hilarious talking about spreading the seed all over the faces. McCrae is awesome to work with, says Chris. I've done a few live streams with him now. Bruce, our schedules just haven't matched up yet, but we certainly had discussions. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to having them both on and being able to pick their brains about directing and writing and what they have coming up and just the whole kind of process, and also just sort of getting to know them a little bit. I've hopped on a call with Dave where we've gotten to know each other a little bit, and that was awesome, but I've yet to work with him on a stream, so it'll be really cool to do that together. And then I'll be on his channel for a McCrae live because I'm an associate producer on It's Me Billy Chapter 2, so that's one of the perks of purchasing that perk. So I'm looking forward to talking some Evil Dead with Dave McCrae because he's a little lukewarm. He thinks it's good, but he's never like fallen in love with it. So I'm going to see if I can bring him over to the dark side, as it were. And look at that. Liana is now a channel member. Hell yeah, Liana. Thank you so much for joining the Death Squad. We've had so many people sign up. It's amazing. I'm going to have to jump in and redo the cards and everything. It'll be great. Yeah, this is amazing, guys. You guys are unreal. The comment, Davey. Oh, did I just miss something? Oh yeah, Jamie, I think he's just saying that like what he said was so funny. I think. I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, Liana, you have to use the laptop. Yep. I have the same thing because I think with Android it works. I think with Apple it doesn't work to try to sign up for sure. Yeah, there we go. You guys are hilarious. I love you guys, and just how much fun you have with each other is great. Paula loves the Olympics, baseball, basketball, and hockey makes her angry. I really love hockey, but when my team does poorly, maybe I get a little angry. I'm a big, baseball, hockey, and football. Those are like my three favorites. I think football is just the greatest sport ever created. It's the mixture of brains and brawn. And I'm a little disheartened that the NFL seems to be moving more towards like sports entertainment and less of like actual athletic competition, but whatever. Enough get off my lawn chat for me for tonight. Let's see here. Guys, we are going on 2.5 hours. It's almost 10 o'clock here, or we're coming up on 10, and I still need to grab a bite to eat before hitting the hay here. So I'm going to sort of catch up with the chat here. Wine or beer? I would say beer because there's so many different kinds of beer. I'm having a little bit of a break from, for a while there. Sorry guys, my cable's getting a little buzzy. There we go. For a while there, I took a huge break from alcohol and then kind of slowly worked my way back into it as the summer months like hit and everything. And now I'm back on the wagon. So I'm back to just, okay, like no more of that. Let's just kind of get my, have a little bit of a cleanse, maybe shed a few pounds from not drinking, all that kind of stuff. But I do think, beer it tastes great. Absolutely. I'm excited for that. I think that one should be good. Hopefully it's better than Beetlejuice. Especially with Shooter McGavin coming back. I really hope that he and Happy team up and there's a brand new villain. I'm hoping that that's what we get from that. But yeah, baseball and football for me, NFL football anyway. Yeah, I watch college a little bit, but I think NFL is way better as far as the competition goes for sure. Thank you so much for hanging out, DA Mac, and of course for being a channel member and purchasing that membership here tonight. That's way too awesome. Yeah, Goonies 2. I'm gonna wait until we see a little bit more before I really believe it. But it would be cool, or it could be cool. I guess we'll just see. Yeah, Chris says that's a false report. I mean, who knows if something could come from that? It could be really cool, or it could just be, a balloon that you let go of that just goes all over the room. So who knows? What's happening, Flopbuster? Everybody, welcome Flopbuster to the chat. We are sort of wrapping things up here for the evening, Flopbuster, but you can always scrub on back for what you missed here on the show. Really appreciate your sub, of course. We are marching towards 1,000 subscribers here on the channel. We are at, let's see here. I thought it would have gone up. Maybe I lost one. Maybe somebody was like, ooh, I subbed, but then I decided I didn't like this guy. But yeah, now you guys are popping off in the chat. You guys are amazing. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go grab a bite to eat and then settle down for the evening so I can get a good night's sleep. Thank you guys so much for hanging out yet again. Just want to, take that time to always show my appreciation to you guys, whether you're just popping in for the first time to check out what the show's all about, or if you're a sub or if you're a channel member. Really appreciate everything you do for our community here. Hanging out here on the channel is something that I really love doing, and it's just so encouraging to see so many of you guys spend so much time hanging out with me as well, and picking my brain about what movies I've seen or what movies I like. And it's just a really stimulating conversation. Absolutely. So really appreciate everything you guys do. I'm going to be back tomorrow night. We're going to be doing a live watch party of Terrifier 2 with Ken and Ashley from Sledgehammer Horror and Evan from Rockland Graves Productions. That's going to be simulcast, so you guys can catch that stream here on this channel. So go ahead and set the notification. On Friday morning, I'm dropping an interview with Ron Sloan, who played Junior in Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. That'll be my little Friday the 13th vid drop. And then on Saturday, I'll be back at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern with Shay Rants over in the UK. We're going to be talking about top 5 best and worst horror movie remakes. And that's going to be a live as well. So busy all week. Really appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me here tonight. I love y'all. I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening, and I hope to see you all back tomorrow. But you know what? Until then, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.